All right, what's up, everybody? We should be live. We should be good. If you are here, let me know that we are live. You can hear me. Everything's fine. We're going to have a little bit of a different stream today. I'm not playing a game. We're not playing any zombies. We're not playing any DMZ. We're not doing anything else. I do want to go over, you're looking at it right now, obviously. This is, to me, is actually genuinely exciting. I don't know if it'll end up being good or not. We'll see. You know, you never know until something actually comes out and you get your hands on it. Is it good? Is it not good? I don't think this is in any way, shape, or form a bad thing that we're looking at right here. And I'll go ahead and explain what we are looking at in a second. It's just, let's just jump right into, well, I kind of want to let things roll out and, hey, people get the notifications that, you know, we go live. So give them a second. So, that being said, how are you guys today? My life right now is so strange, dude. My whole sleeping pattern, my everything is just flipped upside down. I woke up. I went to bed around midnight last night. I woke up at 2. I just cannot get on a decent schedule. And at like 4 a.m., I'm sitting in this chair right here. Completely dark though. It's 4 a.m. and I'm recording. I'm trying to get footage for something I want to put out tomorrow. By the way, the whole thing, if you have been watching my videos lately in my shorts and stuff, I made a full-length video, meaning like a 3-minute video. It was quick, about the whole Bubbles underwater Easter egg on Mauer Toten. And I made 2 short videos about that. One, just like, hey, this is out there. Roxanne, what's going on? Not actually playing a game today. Well, I'm going to talk about what you're looking at on screen right now, something we got if you've been getting the text messages from Call of Duty about these updates going on with Modern Warfare 3. We're going to go over what we got sent today because we are getting absolute confirmation that we are going to be playing in Modern Warfare 3 a direct sequel to Black Ops Cold War. So we're going to get into that in a second. I just kind of, again, we're going to let notifications roll out here for the first couple of minutes of the stream. And we will then jump into all of this information, what we got. It's genuinely exciting. And again, COD Next is October 5th, and we are going to get the reveal for Modern Warfare 3 Zombies during that event. How much information we're going to actually get, I don't know. My next biggest question after what we got today, which we're about to go over, is because again it's basically going to be DMZ from Modern Warfare 2 into Modern Warfare 3, and now it's going to be DMZ Zombies. So my thing is we're getting a new Warzone map in December. So the way it's been, I think, it's basically since Cold War, is the game comes out like October, November. For us this year, it's November 10th, I think. And if you pre-order digitally, you get the access to the campaign a week early. It's the 2nd, November 2nd, I believe, this year. By the way, if you're here, can you just go ahead and drop a like on the stream? I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you. It takes no time at all and doesn't cost you a damn thing. Just helps me out, the YouTube algorithm. So, yeah, anyway, is it going to be in the Warzone release, or is it going to be coming with the actual game released on November 10th? Who knows? So far, that's my really kind of big question that we have going forward. But, okay, so for now, let's just jump into it. This is what I got today. If you're getting the text messages from Call of Duty, you can do it. Get all this info for yourself as well. Text message rates apply, so that's totally up to you whether or not you want to do it. I work at GameStop, so I'm staying on top of zombies. No, this is good. Oh, great. All right, thanks. That's great, Roxanne. So, we got this, okay? This came out today. This is part of the text messages that I got from Call of Duty that we're keeping up with. This is the Modern Warfare MWZ being Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, okay? Teaser image that we got today. We have Dark. What's up, man? Good to see you again. We have a couple of stills here. This first image, let's just look at it real quick, okay? First thing I noticed is we've got Major Carver right here. We've got Weaver and Dr. Gray. All 3 of these characters are from Black Ops Cold War. If you played Black Ops Cold War, you know this for sure. All we do, because we're playing as operators, we're getting our intel from the constant voiceovers that happen. You're getting intel like, hey, maybe you should go do this. Maybe you should go check that out. Let's get the power on. All from these guys. We hear from them all the time. And then this image here, that's from the particle accelerator room in D Machina. This guy right here is from the reveal trailer that we got for D Machina at the very beginning. So like this was the guy that was standing at a console, kind of looking down, and the first, like the soldiers that go in, he taps this guy in the shoulder, he turns around, and it's, oh god, it's a zombie, you know? That's this guy right here. Now what this says is if they are real, there will be no stopping us. Signed, Z. I don't know who Z is. Who is Z? Do you guys know? Like off the top of your head, I'm trying to think. I literally just got this information. I tweeted this stuff out, and then I hopped in the shower and I made some coffee. So I'm going over this like as we're getting it as well. Rather, I'm going over it now with you guys, kind of like not for the first time, but maybe Firebase Z. It's signed Z though, so I think this is coming from a person, not from Firebase Z itself. If they are real, there will be no stopping us. Z, like, and I get, obviously I get what you're saying with Firebase Z, but I think it's from a person, and I'm not remembering anybody from Cold War with a Z name. Died on around 99 to a glitch. Oh, it happened to me on around 95 with the ray gun glitch way back. Anyway, so that's this here. Again, this is 100% from the reveal. You can see right here, this is the particle accelerator at the top of it. So underneath this would be the Pack-a-Punch machine. And again, this directly comes from that. Samantha Max says no. And then this here says, I wrote it over here. I can barely see it over here. We are a go tonight. And I can't, it looks like it says Fletcher, but Fletcher is usually spelled with a T, and I do not see a T in that at all. So Flecher is what it looks like, but let me actually, I think I can pull up a picture of it over here. Maybe drag it over and get a better look. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, there we go. You guys are seeing that? Let me just zoom in. We are a go tonight. Again, I think Fletcher, but I've never seen Fletcher spelled without a T, but that could just be me. Ben, what's going on? How you doing, man? So my question to you guys right now is, these two maps, do you think that's a place we already know, or do you think that's a place that we're going to, like, is this the new Warzone map? Basically the DMZ/zombies map that we're going to be playing on. And again, it's all but been confirmed that the zombies mode this year, this is from YouTubers and streamers and stuff that were invited to an early reveal event. The bottom looks like D Machina. This looks like D Machine? No. These are all buildings here. This is way too big to be D Machine. Way too big to be D Machine. And there's no forest and everything. Like, this is 100%. This is not D Machine. Like, this is a river. Like, this is a tiny little island. Like, this is all looking like rock. Very, 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 very little to like almost no vegetation. It looks like to me. Like, this is a cliff here. This is water. These are buildings. This is a little island in the middle of it. This is like a massive building. Kind of looks like the Twitch logo, actually, the eyes. This looks like a kind of like a Capitol building, like a government building. If you look here, being like kind of the big center, and it's just like the structure is kind of like this, and a couple more buildings like that. I think this is probably what we're getting here is an image of the new Warzone map. And again, so these YouTubers and streamers and stuff were invited early to an event They were not allowed to ask questions, but they got told, like, this is what's happening with zombies. So people like Noah J and Westy, who's I just learned about from you guys, actually, from my subscribers, who's a DMZ streamer, mostly. That, to me, it sounds like DMZ is going away, and so we're getting a crossover between DMZ and zombies is like what's going to happen. So what's going to happen basically is you're spawning into this map. You are either in, there are 4 6-man teams or 6 4-man teams. It's very kind of unclear what is actually going to happen. This is for the new zombies mode in Modern Warfare 3. You spawn on the outskirts of the map. On the outskirts of the map, you've got low-level zombies, basically. Just regular old, like, round 1 to 5 kind of zombies. The further you move toward the center of the map, you're getting... It's kind of like going... like, flipping rounds, right? You're going from round 5 to round 10 to 15. The zombies are getting stronger and stronger and tougher, and you start getting mini-bosses. You start getting manglers, abominations, megatons, etc., 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 etc. And now that we know that this is a direct sequel to Cold War, it really makes sense. Like, those are probably the mini bosses and bosses that we had in Cold War, mimics, etc. And the one image that we did get for about Modern Warfare 3 zombies is with a mimic in it. It's a different type of mimic that we saw in Cold War, but it is a mimic. Miguel, what's going on? How are you today? So, and then, again, the further you move in, you get the stronger and stronger bosses. Like, you have the mini-bosses, and then there are going to be, just like in DMZ, when you go into Cochet or, like, Building 21 or something like that, it's kind of like a subsect of the main map. And especially with Cochet, where you literally, you go underground in if you guys don't play DMZ, there's certain parts of the map where you go into, like, either down into a parking structure and find a tunnel, or there's a tunnel in Rohan Oil. There's a few tunnels throughout the map where you literally go underground into this complex area. So it is a literal subsect of the map. But once you go into it, it's literally like there's a transfer scene, not a cut scene, but like you're going from this area to this new area, and you cannot just travel back. You have to go through this new complex, this, like, Cochet. And there are going to be things like that in this new zombies mode as well. So everything that's sounding like is it's basically exactly DMZ mode, but it's DM zombies rather than... And it's only going to be PvE, whereas DMZ is PvPvE, meaning player versus environment. Environment being like AI bots and stuff like that. In DM Zombies, I'll just call it, it's PvE only, even though, again, you will spawn in with a group, and there will be other groups spawning into the map at the same time as you are. But you will not fight each other. You are only fighting the AI, meaning the zombies, the mini-bosses, and ultimately bosses. You only get 60 minutes each time you load in to accomplish whatever the mission is that you're trying to accomplish. Again, if you're familiar with DMZ at all, you have these certain objectives. It's kind of fluid. It's not everybody going for the exact same thing. Sometimes it's as simple as I need to go in, like something I'm working on to upgrade my stuff is I'm going into to the map I need to exfil with, I'm going to go kill the chemist, and I need to exfil with the M13B or whatever, that gun with his weapons case, and now that's how I'm unlocking the gun. But like Roxanne and Miguel, you guys are part of a team, and you're going in, you need to collect 3 GPUs or corrupt files or secret documents that you need to exfil with to get out of the map. So you won't have to go from like the very edges of the map all the way through every single time. If this follows the DMZ pattern, where again you're going in for a specific thing, you can do multiple things. It's not you're not limited to simply doing this one thing only. The video title makes no sense. Zombies in BO Gulf War will be a sequel to Cold War. Yeah, the title makes sense, man. We're going over it, so why don't you just listen for a minute before just saying things aren't making sense. It's the whole point of this video, this stream, is this came out today. So maybe listen for a minute first. So anyway, again, with DMZ, you could, like, if you ran into another team, you could fight them, you could take their stuff, do whatever. And DM Zombies is, what we'll just call it, Modern Warfare 3 Zombies that's coming, is, again, you're loading in at the same time as other teams because it's going to be a large-scale map. It's probably the Outbreak, whatever the new Outbreak map is. And again, I think that this is what we're looking at here and also here. I think these are part of the schematics for it, but like there's no specific landmarks that we're looking at here. And again, if it is brand new, I mean, we're not going to know it yet anyway. We wouldn't have seen it. So I think that's what we're looking at here. But again, for sure, 100%, this is Major Carver, Weaver, Dr. Gray. These are from D Machina. 100%, this is a direct sequel to Cold War. It is in the Cold War universe. So again, it was one of the big questions that I had. It's kind of like the worry for me, because Treyarch is doing this new version of the Zombies that's coming out in Modern Warfare 3. This is not Sledgehammer. It's not Infinity Ward. They are, I'm sure, helping as far as, working on various graphics or coding or doing whatever, but Treyarch is telling the story of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. And one of the big questions was, at least that I had, was, is it going to be in the Cold War universe, or is it like a Vanguard situation? Did they just get thrown into halfway through what they were doing and go like, hey, people kind of like what you guys are doing. The whole Outbreak thing seems to be catching on. More people are playing, so you guys take Vanguard now. Cool, like go ahead and do that. You have 5 months while you're still working on your game too. So, and then of course what we got with Vanguard was an abomination, and technically Vanguard was a prequel to Cold War. It happened 40 years prior. It was basically during World War II, but it technically was in that universe. And I didn't know if we were going to get literally that type of thing here with Modern Warfare 3. And as far as relating to Cold War, it seems like it's not going to be that kind of just tangentially related. It's, again, we've got Carver here, we've got Weaver, we got Dr. Gray, we have D Machina here, and this zombie is from, again, the reveal trailer from D Machina as well. So it looks like a very, very direct sequel to what we had in Cold War. That's one image that we got, okay? So this is like the first text that came out today from the Call of Duty number. The next thing that we got, Treyarch should have had full cycle work upon this. Yeah, I mean, they've had time. It's just, it's not that they haven't had time, and again, they're getting the extra year because of the huge crunch they were under to get Cold War out to the public, especially during a pandemic, and a year early. It's a minor miracle that we got Cold War was even decent. I mean, I think it was good, but that it even came out and worked is kind of a miracle. My whole thing is, yes, they definitely have had time, but when did they get assigned this? That was my thing, because again, as kind of excited as this info that we're getting today makes me, at the same time, it's like maybe not though, because, and again, these are just, I have no idea how the game is going to turn out. It could be amazing. I hope it is. I have no idea how it'll turn out. This is my thought process as I'm getting this stuff. And since I haven't had my hands on it, I haven't seen anything other than these things that I'm showing you guys now. Like, I have no idea how it's going to turn out. But my worry is, when did they get assigned this? And then, was it 2 months ago? Was it 6 months ago? Have they had this for a year? When was it, like, for sure determined that Sledgehammer Games was going to be making Modern Warfare 3 this year? And what would make you even more nervous about that, thinking about that, is, okay, we know we're getting a sequel to the campaign for Modern Warfare 2, a continuation, but everything in multiplayer, on release at least, is remakes of Modern Warfare 2's maps from 2009. So they're not making a literal new map at all for this new game. So, and then you take into account, okay, then we have Modern Warfare 2 2022, the year 2022 that just came out last year, the current game that we're in. And they have this DMZ mode, which takes place on the Warzone map. DMZ, for the people that play it, seems to be like they fully love it. They're into it. It's very addictive. It's very fun. But it has not taken the kind of Call of Duty world by storm anywhere near the way that Activision had hoped. So now we're getting this new game, and it's like, okay, DMZ, we invested a lot of effort into it, and we don't have anything coming up for zombies yet again this year. What if we just put those two together? And we're making a DM Zombies sandwich now, you know? So how rushed it was, I don't know. That makes me a little nervous. More than a little, I'll be honest with you. But I don't know. Again, we'll see. It could be amazing. We're going to have to wait to get our hands on it until we know. I'm glad how Cold War turned out, but yeah, the timing is crucial. We could have unsolved bubbles again. By the way, so that's what I was recording a little bit of at 4 o'clock this morning, and I streamed it a couple of days ago, and I think it was Saturday. I pretty much, as far as I'm concerned, I solved the mystery of the bubbles. And that's the video that was going to come out tomorrow. It may still, I'm not sure, again, because I'm a little tired. Again, my sleep is just kind of completely screwed up right now. But I'm pretty much positive that I have solved the mystery of the, if you don't know what I'm talking about, on Mauer de Toten, right below where you spawn in, there's the room that you go into right by the zip line. And if you turn around, if you're facing the zip line, you turn around 180 degrees. Right behind you, there'll be a 2-seater couch and a painting on the wall. If you shoot that with like the M79 or a launcher or C4 or something like that, it'll explode and you will get this underwater bubble effect will go on, and it sounds like a kind of like a depth charge going off underwater. It'd be like a boom, like a muted underwater boom kind of sound, and then like the bubbles go up and you get like this debris that kind of floats at the camera. And then I found a couple of other places where that happens, but it's on Outbreak, and I think I know exactly why. And you're gonna have to wait to watch the video to know exactly what that is. But I think, honestly, I'm virtually certain I've got it solved. Like, I'm confident with where it is. Like, okay, this is the answer. It's pretty hilarious. It really kind of like, oh, it's just, you'll have to see. Okay. So this is a text that got after that initial one. So we saw the first picture here, which was, again, all this stuff confirming that we're getting a direct sequel to Cold War. Again, one more time, I'll go over it for anybody that just showed up. This is D Machina. This is the particle accelerator room. This is from the trailer that we got initially, from the like a first trailer that we got for D Machina before the game actually even came out. We got this here, and this is from that same trailer as well. We've got Major Carver, we've got Weaver, we got Dr. Gray, all from Black Ops Cold War. Okay, so again, confirming that this is, for sure, directly related. It's a sequel to Black Ops Cold War. This here says, if they are real, there will be no stopping us. Signed, Z. Don't know who Z is. And again, I cannot think of a character in Cold War with a Z name. Anyway, if you can think of it, please let me know. And it's not Samantha, Roxanne. And then this is We Are a Go Tonight. I think that says Fletcher, but there's no T in Fletcher, but it looks like Fletcher. So, I don't know who that is either. The next thing I got sent was this. IMOs sent over some files dated 1984. Potential consultants. You've been around a while. Want your take. Do you know them? Can we trust them? This, of course, is Kravchenko from Firebase Z. Ravenov, excuse me, not Kravchenko. Ravenov. Not Kravchenko. Very different guy. Ravenov. He's the guy that helps us out in Firebase Z. He's behind the glass. He's the one that gives us the key card. He gives us some info, like, hey, he's got his arm in a sling. Go up there and, I'll watch you from here on the cameras. And You know, I'll try to guide you from down here, and then you go talk to. You turn the power on. You try to talk to Peck. You get sent back down. Ravenov calls you down back to the spawn area of Firebase Z. He gives his whole little spiel. He gives you the key card that you need to go collect the gas, the three components, the vials, to make the truth serum that we put onto the air conditioning unit on Firebase Z where Peck is, and then we gas him, and then he tells us to go over to the data center, and then that's where we got to trap the 3 mimics to get the codes and everything to unlock the Dark Ether to go get Samantha out of the Dark Ether. Okay. So, again, that's Ravenov, and then we see him as well in the first Outbreak Easter egg. When we get down into the silo, the whole Legion boss fight one. Remember, there's that cutscene. You go in, you turn the power on, you lift the lockdown or whatever you're doing there, and that first thing you do basically when you go in there is you hit that button. Then we get this cutscene, and it's, hey, we got the missiles here with the Ethereum crystals on it. It's got the big Legion guys strapped to them, the whole deal. There's that little cutscene, blah, blah, blah. That plays out, and then that's Ravenov. So Langley's getting restless. We need to move on the situation ASAP. You've got reliable people. Give them my number. We need bodies. SSO, SG. And SG is, I forget her name, but she's the contact that we have at, well, whatever the secret government is. That's not CIA. She's not CIA. I don't remember, to be honest with you. So then if you, again, this is asking you, and this is, by the way, this is his, this is the card close up. Definitely Ravenov. Omega. You guys remember? I wonder if there's going to be anything with these numbers, meaning any kind of significance or something going forward before the game actually comes out that we can do with these texts and type back these numbers. But anytime there's numbers or whatever, it's zombies. You get, it's got to be something. But anyway, if you respawn Ravenov, then you get this file back. Personnel file summary 6/11/85. So again, if you were going back, it said from 84. This was dated 84, this picture and this whole thing here. But now this file is from 1985. And again, I think that Cold War, the game, ended in 86, right? Forsaken, I think, was 86 by the time we finished everything, if I remember correctly. But anyway, it's Sergei Ravenov, current status, current whereabouts unknown, nationality Russians, affiliations, Spetsnaz, counterterrorism, defected in 1984. Known associations with Soviet-based blank group, Omega, basically, right? Because we were Requiem and they were Omega, is basically how it went. By the way, can everybody drop a like that's here? It would greatly appreciate it. It just helps me out. It takes you 2 seconds. Doesn't cost you anything. It just helps me with the YouTube algorithm. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Known unsanctioned associations with CIA-based, that could be Requiem, I think, here. That's Omega, that's Requiem, or this could be particular names, but like a Maxis or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, that is the full update that we got today. So I didn't know, one of my big concerns again about this was, is this when we found out we're getting Modern Warfare 3 zombies, is okay, well, how is it going to relate? And we knew that Treyarch was doing it. Is it going to relate at all to our current storyline? And now, how much is it going to relate? Is it going to be a sequel? Is it going to be a prequel? So it looks like from we're getting these pictures again. This is the very first picture that we got. That's D Machina. These are both from D Machina. Then we got Major Carver, Weaver, Dr. Gray, and I know I keep repeating for some of you that have been here since the beginning. I just see new people coming in, so I'm just kind of going over things quickly, summarizing. That we've got our crew. D Machina already exists in apparently the Modern Warfare 3 universe. It already exists. That's why we have these pictures. We know about our crew, basically our operator. Well, they weren't operators, but they were the ones guiding our operators. And we've got Ravenov again, who was helping us during Cold War, again directly in Firebase Z. And once again, in the first Outbreak Easter egg, the Legion boss fight Easter egg. And we got a little bit of info on him. So we are getting, again, we are getting a sequel. Where did I put that picture? I don't know why I got rid of it. There we go. We are getting a sequel of some sort. How directly, like, again, because we don't know when Treyarch... I wish I could read this, but... And again, if anybody wants to, like, my Twitter is linked down below. You can go and, like, get screenshots of these pictures yourself. If you can blow them up, if you can clean it up, the image a little bit, and see it, what this says, please let me know. Looks like Joe. No. Maybe Joe. Reference. Deer something. I just can't make any of that out. Yeah, so like how much are they going to set up what was intended to be, like, I think what in COD 2024 Call of Duty's, I mean, Treyarch's next game, we think it's going to be called Gulf War, not sure. They were obviously aiming toward, like, their story and everything. They were aiming toward that game for everything they were going to do, the story that they were going to tell. And then I'm pretty sure at some point Activision was like, hey, we got to give these guys something, because the last thing we gave them was fucking Vanguard, and that was horrible. So going from, 2020 to 2024 without any, like, real new zombie stuff, they were probably like, hey, let's give them something. And so I think this was not ever really intended to be a part of the story going forward. I think it's something that was just, like, thrust upon Treyarch by Activision, and now they're kind of creating story around it. So will it be all set up for Treyarch's game for next year? Let's just call it Black Ops Gulf War. I think that's probably the case. I initially was worried we're going to do some kind of prequel stuff. It was either going to be completely unrelated, or like they were going to do a prequel like they did with Vanguard. Again, it was 40 years prior to what we got in Cold War, but again, it was directly related. I'm back from the bubble. Okay. I think DM Zombies is to bridge the gap, keeping the story relevant. I think that's probably what it is as well, Roxanne. Which could be great, because we'll get a little bit more story, hopefully a little bit more invested. One thing I'm desperately hoping for, we're not going to get it with this DMZ Zombies, this Modern Warfare 3 stuff. I seriously doubt anyway. What I'm at least hoping for, though, very, very, very much hoping for with COD 2024, Gulf War, Black Ops Gulf War, is dedicated playable characters, like a real crew for us, Zombies players, not playing as generic operators. That, our real main characters have been people like Major Carver and Weaver and Dr. Gray. They're the ones talking to us all the time. Other than that, we're just this soldier, this kind of, not nameless because they did have names, but we didn't learn anything about Park, or I can't even think of the other names of the people. I mean, Park is that one woman operator. I literally can't even think of the names of the other operators. Like, so when stuff happens to them, you just don't care. I mean, you can think of, if you think of how Zombies was before that, with, Dempsey and Richtofen and Takeo and Nikolai, especially with something like Blood of the Dead, where the ending cutscene, spoilers here, you should have finished it by now. But when that one version of Richtofen dies, you're so sad. It's because you're invested in these characters. You know them at this point. So, and you are emotionally invested in what happens to them, in their kind of well-being and what their story going forward. And then when he dies at the end, like all of our other characters just going through the portals, just leaving them behind, like it's horrifying. And I can literally think of one operator's name from Cold War, and I can't even think of her first name. I just know it's Park. And I mean, the reason why I remember, it's so simple to remember, Park. And then they had the Samantha bundle that came out. It's the only bundle I've ever bought. I played as her since that bundle came out. So I've been playing like as Samantha in these games when like with the Outbreak Legion boss fight, when you go down into the missile silo and you're talking to Ravenov, like I was just talking about, and he's like, the first thing he says to you is like, "Where's Maxis?" And you're standing there as the Maxis character, like, I'm right here. It's weird, but it's just so they could sell us stuff, whatever. So I hope we get dedicated characters. We're not going to get them with this Modern Warfare. I seriously doubt, anyway, that we're going to get them with this Modern Warfare 3 Zombies game that is coming. That's my next big question, by the way, is it, are we getting this DMZ Zombies with the release of the game on November 10th, or is it packaged with Warzone that's coming in December? The new map is coming in December. I kind of don't see any way that it's not until December, because again, DMZ going on a Modern Warfare 2, that takes place on the Outbreak map. Well, Al Mazrah, the big map, and then there's also like Vondel and Ashika Island. So there's the two smaller maps, but those are also Outbreak maps. They're not going to give us, in Zombies, I don't think anyway, a full month early access to the Outbreak map without even playing Outbreak, but playing this DMZ Zombies. Like, I can't see that happening. And then you would kind of mess up, kind of like they're two separate things. So like Outbreak, of course, is free. You can just download it. Modern Warfare 3 is $70, even though it's a remake of Modern Warfare 2 2009, which is, I think, whatever. It doesn't matter. So I think we're probably, and I'm hoping we get this information at COD Next. Again, that's October 5th. I will be live streaming that, by the way. I'm not going to the event. I will be live streaming, like doing a watch party for it. So hopefully at that point, that's when we'll find out for sure exactly when it's going to come out. Everything we're going to know about that. I really, really hope we'll know at that point. And I'm thinking it's not going to be until the new Warzone map comes out that we get access to this Modern Warfare DMZ Zombies stuff. I just don't. Just feasibly, technically, I just don't see how they would do it in a different way. So, bring back people like Tank and oh, you think they're going to bring back our old crew? I don't think there's any. Well, see, I actually thought. Well, let me finish. Let me read your last comment first. I think the $70 price point Zombies may be included on November 10th. It would be nice. I don't think it will be, though, to be honest with you. I mean, I could definitely be wrong. The only way I see that not being the case, though, that it's like the only way that Zombies is part of the on-disc game, Modern Warfare 3, the game itself, meaning the campaign and the the multiplayer maps and everything, is if this DMZ Zombies mode does not take place on the new Outbreak map. That's the only way I can see it happening. I just don't see how they could do it. Like, they could give us access to the new Outbreak map a month early on a different, separate... Because, again, there's separate downloads. You can get to the same... Like, you can get to Outbreak... I mean... I'm sorry. You can get to Modern Warfare 2. You can get to... I always call it Outbreak because that's the zombies, like, open world aspect. Warzone, whatever, from the same menu. But they are different downloads. You need to download different things to play each of them. And again, you don't need to have Modern Warfare to play Warzone. You can download that for free. Same with DMZ this past year. DMZ is a free mode. You can download it it's part of Warzone. So I think DMZ Zombies with this new Zombies, I think is going to be a part of that, just like DMZ was this past year. So that's why I think we won't get it until December. Which is good in a way, and especially with all of our weapons carrying over. I mean, how hard do you guys think they're going to nerf the Modern Warfare 2 weapons into Modern Warfare 3, though? So, like, you have to, like, get in there stuff and grind and, buy our bundle, buy this and that. Like, I just think not bringing them back, but important characters like that instead of operators. Oh, I get you. Okay. See, I actually thought for a moment back during Cold War, I thought like the final thing that was going to happen was that like I thought this was how like the final cutscene was gonna go. Is that we get into this Forsaken map and we're going through and we're fighting. Again, we're trying to get Zykov out of the Dark Ether, or whatever. And we knew he was going to be the Forsaken, right? Like that wasn't a mystery at all. But I thought like we're going to start fighting him, and that was going to be hard, and then we would kind of like get to the certain point in the boss fight where we're beating him, and then but it's going to make it seem like we're losing. And then we're going to get like over like Major Carver or Weaver or whatever, Dr. Gray or something was going to like come over our headset and say like, we're showing this big burst of energy. The Dark Ether is opening up, and like our crew was going to walk out from the Dark Ether and come in, like Nikolai, Tank, Rick Tough, and they were going to come through this rift that they had opened up, and like that was going to be the big crescendo ending, and like we got our guys back, which would have been like awesome and terrible at the same time. Like they should not do that, because at BO4 everything was banished to the Dark Ether, right? Then the Agartha device was exploded, and so like it's a question of like was everything destroyed, or was it just all banished to like all the multiverse stuff? Was it just banished to the Dark Ether to go on existing, but just in the Dark Ether and not in, let's say, our world? Or was it actually destroyed? Like all those multiverses were blown up, they're bits, they don't exist anymore. So like the crew could exist. I mean, the transit crew could exist as well. The Victus crew. I don't know. I mean, this, we're doing the Dark Ether story with Cold War and, all this stuff going forward. And now at the end of Forsaken, Samantha, flies into, which was just weird, by the way, that the end of Forsaken, you shoot the crystals off of his shoulders, then you use the cannon, blow that stuff up, then you shoot his guts, the ether crystals on his guts. You use the cannon, blow that up. The head, same thing. Shoot the crystals, use the cannon, blow him up. So why is it like? It seems like we've got him super weak, like we're defeating him, and now then you go to the cutscene, and Samantha's like, I have to fly into his literal stomach, into the Dark Ether to save everything. Now I was like, what? Wait, I mean, I should go back. I actually played through it last night, and I didn't watch the cutscene though. I don't know why. But like, why did Samantha have to go into the Dark Ether at the end of Cold War? I don't know. That never really made sense to me. It's like we're beating the Forsaken right now. Like that's what our whole point of doing this. And like everything we did was actually like defeating him, making him weaker, and like killing him. So like I don't know why she had to go in there. But anyway, she's been there now for, whatever time frame we're gonna have with the next game, for years. And we know time is different there. So like a week here is like 2 years there or something. Like it's crazy. So like, will she be in there? Will she find the old crew? Maybe we'll get our old crew again. It's certainly within the realm of possibilities. Especially anytime you're dealing with multiverses or anything like that, and especially with this zombie story. I mean, something they need to do. I wish they had just moved on, period. Like, we're not playing. We didn't have Samantha. We didn't have Eddie as the director. Like, I think they just should have done a brand new story, period. And it's like it's new, but we still have Samantha. We still have Eddie. We didn't get Eddie until the very end, but all of us knew, right? We knew Richtofen was back. We saw the end of BO4. Samantha and Eddie walk out of the darkness into the light to, enjoy the life that they were supposed to have, to not be burdened with all of this zombies stuff, all this craziness. That's the whole end of Black Ops 4. So we're still connected, though, like to that old story. How much are they going to remember? Do they remember any of it? Seems like Samantha might have, a clue of some stuff. We didn't hear from Eddie at all, but that he ended up as the director of the CIA, like, that seems weird. If he doesn't, have any kind of connection to his past from, the stuff that we did, the Primus and Ultimus crews. So anyway, who knows? Mitchell, what's going on? Director of Requiem, not CIA. Sorry, yes, you're correct. You're correct. Yeah. So anyway, it's just this was very interesting today. It answered at least one big question that I had. That was this Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, was it going to be related at all to Black Ops Zombies? Was it going to be a continuation? And that's definitely what it seems like, again, because the first image that we got today was, this is D Machina, this Zombies from D Machina. 100%. And we have our three characters, again, Dr. Gray, Weaver, and Major Carver. We have Ravenov as well. And it was from 84 and 85, the pictures and stuff that we got from him, right? Yeah, so this was from 84, his key card. Remember, this is what he gives us in Firebase Z. And then this last known whereabouts, again, unknown, whatever. And this was from June 11th in 1985. No, round-based. Not this year, Flower Flame. With Treyarch's next game, 100% we're getting round-based again. But not for Modern Warfare 3. So we are getting a sequel. Again, how much it will be, specifically affecting the story of what was going to come ahead, it's hard to say. It could just be tangential, kind of like, hey, there was these operators, that did this stuff in Poland and in Vietnam and in Russia and Berlin. So we got a little bit of intel on that side. Or maybe we're going to play as Ravenov. That could be cool. Like, because it says his whereabouts are unknown at the moment. Maybe, he wasn't a playable character for us in Cold War. Maybe that's what we'll play as now. Maybe, he's underground, but still actively working on the events from Cold War with his crew. Like, he's got his own crew now or something like that. Like, that could be kind of cool. One of the story since this continuation of Cold War. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now, Francisco. I just had a thought about that, and it just escaped me. Oh, it would be kind of weird though. Like, so again, there's going to be multiple teams, whether it's 4 teams of 6 or 6 teams of 4 loading in at the same time into this DMZ Zombies mode that we're getting with Modern Warfare 3. I still don't know the people that had gone to the event early and got this information. It seems like they got it a little bit confused because they were saying 4 teams of 6 and 6 teams of 4. So it's a little muddled there. My thinking is it's probably 6 teams of 4 because Call of Duty has always done teams of 4. But as somebody pointed out on Saturday during that stream, we were talking about that stuff a little bit. In DMZ, you can have a 6-person team, which is definitely true. But you can only start with a 3-person team, and then you have to convert other people to come into your team to make it to a full 6. So I don't know if you'll load in with the full 6. But again, if it's like Ravenov's crew, and you've got, let's say it's 4 people in a crew, like, so you all load in as that crew, and like 5 other teams all load in as that same crew, would be very weird. Especially since you'll be able to cross paths. Again, it's not going to be PvP at all. It's just going to be PvE. But if you're all loading into the same map at the same time, you will cross paths eventually. So it could be weird. It's like that Spider-Man meme. It's like, hey, you're me, I'm you. Like, By the way, can everybody drop a like? We only have 3 likes on the stream. We've had close to 60 views so far, and we only have 3 likes. Like, we could do better than that, right? So yeah, I don't really want a direct sequel, but I wouldn't mind if this is a history of what's happening. Outbreak zones are coming back, but disconnected from the story of Gulf War or whatever the next Black Ops is. Well, it's one of those things we've been talking about, Mitchell. Like, I didn't want it to not be related because that would have been weird, right? Like, if we're my big worry is we were going to get some kind of prequel BS like we got with Vanguard. And again, that is directly in the world of Cold War. It's in our world, the Dark Ether world. They are 100% in the same universe. But Treyarch didn't have a ton of time with that, and they never really got to develop it. So it was, I wouldn't even call it half-assed, man. It was like a 50th assed. Like, it was so poor, right? It was just so terrible. And that was my concern about this was, like, again, it's only partially a joke when I say this. When you've got DMZ, right? This mode, DMZ, and then I'm saying that for a reason. That it didn't take off the way Call of Duty had hoped, the DMZ mode. And again, they're realizing, like, hey, we haven't given the zombies people out there, the community, anything since Vanguard, and that was a disaster. Everybody hated it. So we took the goodwill of Cold War that we had built up, and we threw it in the gutter with Vanguard. Like, we need to get them back a little bit. And I swear somebody during one of these meetings was like, DMZ, DM zombies. And let's put the two together. Because each of those communities is smaller than the multiplayer community. It's smaller than the Warzone community, but they're passionate about their modes. They really like them. The DMZ people and the zombies people really like their mode. So what if we brought those two together in two smaller communities to make a larger community? I kind of have a feeling that's what is happening here. And my big concern is, like, still concerned, is when was Treyarch given this assignment of creating this DMZ zombies mode? Was it 2 months ago? Was it 6 months ago? Was it a year ago? I don't think it would have been a year ago. I don't think this was planned, like, for their game that they're working on coming up. So I think this was extra. And it just has me concerned that we're going to basically get... It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, by the way, if all this really is that we're going to get this year is DMZ, but instead of the AI soldiers that we fight in DMZ, those soldiers, AI soldiers, are simply zombies. That wouldn't really bother me that much. What they can't do is just fuck up the story that we already have going with Cold War. Like, don't convolute and try to make it this, oh, we've got the chance to, like, don't really do that. If that is the case, if this is a, like, hey, we've had this for 6 months, we've got to put this mode together, here's DMZ, but again, we're changing the skins of the AI soldiers to be zombies now. Again, I wouldn't necessarily hate that. It depends on how they do it, of course, but I wouldn't necessarily hate that. That could be fine. It could be Outbreak 2.0, which is what we've been told it's going to be for quite a while. So it would just make it more Outbreak 2.0 than we actually kind of thought, which, again, maybe that's not bad. Like, that could be fun. I just don't want a bunch of story that was never intended that now they feel like they have to just kind of throw in to make things connect a little bit more. Like, don't do that. Like they did with the Vanguard story being part of the Dark Ether story. Like, imagine if more than one player could pick up the Shockwave and D-Machina, and each player could work towards their own upgrades, kind of like the bows in Dragon Jack or staffs in Origins. Is that not the case? Can you not do that in D-Machine? I'm a solo player, guys. Can you not do that? I mean, I think only one person can pick it up from where you get the free one, right? With the guy locked behind the door, you use the trap, suck up the souls. I made a short video about that, by the way. You can insta-kill the Megaton by using that trap. You can kill him, then when he splits, You can have them be sucked up, the two that split, sucked up into that trap as well. Instantly, you can kill the Megaton without firing a shot. But by doing like trials and everything, other players can they not get the shockwave as well? And like everybody gets, I have the poison one, the Nova 5 one, and Flower Flame gets the Electrobolt, and Mitchell gets the freeze one, whatever that was called, the cryo emitter. And Roxanne gets the which one did I miss? Which one did I miss? Fuck. I can't think of it. Cryo emitter, flame, Nova 5. Oh, the Electrobolt. I think I already said all 5. Anyway, like, can you not do that in D Machina? Can you not have 4 players each with a shockwave? Again, solo player. Don't know. I don't have any friends. I'm trying to think, like, now have I watched any videos or streams of other people doing it where everybody has a shockwave? And I cannot picture one. Players, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. I'm hiding in the chat. Anyway, so that's the big news of today, and I think this is legitimately big news as far as Modern Warfare 3 Zombies goes. It is 100% a sequel to Cold War. Mitchell, you can get 4 shockwaves from the box, free one in Trials or Jug Easter egg, and only 1 upgrade of the 4 in D Machina. In Outbreak, you can have 4 players with the same upgrade. Yeah. I know, like, you wouldn't be able to get, like, everybody has the same Electrobolt or whatever, but, like, you could have 4 people and each running 1 of the upgrades, right, on D Machina. I didn't know in Outbreak though everybody could have the same one. Although the shockwave sucks in Outbreak. I only played with it a little bit at the time because it was so terrible when they put it out. Like by round 3, it's like you've got to use your whole ammo. Like you get 4 shots with it, and they do it in different increments, like 15 points is a 1 shot. But you would have to do like that just to kill a mimic. And then again, that was before they even put in the upgrades where you could do the Nova 5, you could do the Electrobolt and Cryo Emitter and Firebolt and all that kind of stuff. But those ones never seemed particularly good either. Outbreak was the whole thing with Outbreak was I don't think it's a bad mode. I thought it was actually kind of fun and something different. It never can replace round based for me, like not ever. But as something else to do in Zombies during the same year as, you know, a game comes out that you're enjoying and playing, just to switch things up, it's great. The things that I didn't like about Outbreak, though, were that these maps were just Fireteam Dirty Bomb maps. They weren't Zombies specific. Therefore, they didn't feel like you were ever playing a Zombies game. It was just these big open world maps that had zombies in them sometimes. And then the kind of scaling of how the difficulty levels, it's like rounds 1, 2, and 3, like you could sleepwalk literally your way through them. And then round 4 is like, oh, it's a little bit, you know, like this guy's with armor now. And then round 5 is like everybody's sprinting all the time, all armor all the time. And it's just like we went like this to like that, and you know, it just wasn't fun. Like they needed to spread things out a lot more. And I think the reason why they didn't was because the whole point system. Like, if you are like just taking your time going around the map, you could have 2 fully triple papped weapons by the end of round 3, and you could have maybe not like the full perkaholic, but like leave out Tombstone and leave out Mule Kick and, you know, like whatever, because like you don't need that shit anyway. You could have all the perks that you want and 2 triple papped weapons by the end of round 3. And I think that's why they scaled it the way they did. But if they had just changed the point system a bit, or made you pay to unlock areas like you do in round based, rather than just having a completely wide open, you can go everywhere on the map as soon as you load into it. I think that would have been better, because as it was just like, again, boring, boring, boring. Like, oh my god, and it just didn't flow. It didn't have a good feel to it. Jolt Surge is OP versus Orda, and now it's good if you pack a bunch of... Which one's the Jolt Surge? Is that the Electro Bolt? Is that the one you're talking about? I was actually getting footage for the Mauer underwater, the bubble Easter egg again stuff, and I was getting some footage from Sanatorium, doing some underwater stuff. I should give you a little clue of what's to come. If you weren't here for that stream, Jolt Surge is electric. Okay, is it called the Jolt Surge? Was it not called the Electro Bolt? I swear to God, at least on D Machine, it's called the Electro Bolt, isn't it? But yeah, anyway, so I went to, I did that. I got the footage I needed, and I don't like, one thing I love, by the way, that Cold War did is the whole exfilling thing. I hate just like letting my character die or just quitting the game. I love that you can exfil. And on Outbreak, you can do it at the end of every map. Oh, it's when it's packed, it says Jolt Surge. Okay, I get you. Thank you for that, Mitchell. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Okay, my sleepy is all messed up. The hell was I just... Oh, the whole exfilling thing. Like, you know, if you've done the objective on whatever map you're on in Outbreak, you can exfil. Doesn't matter the round. And then, of course, on, you know, round base, it's every 5 rounds, starting at 11. So 11, 16, 21, 26, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I love that they added that into the game, though, because it was one of those things initially that I was like, exfil, like what is that supposed to mean? And I was thinking, like, with Cold War, thinking back to the beginning, like before the game, like we're doing right now with Modern Warfare 3 zombies. This is how I was back in, you know, the days of just before Cold War came out, and we found out about this exfilling stuff. It was like, is it going to be like you do one Easter egg on this map, like you on D Machina? I didn't know it at the time, it was called D Machina even, maybe. And then it's like, okay, you have to do this, and then it continues over to the next map. And I thought, I was a little bit worried they were going to make it like a campaign kind of a thing, because we knew with Cold War that things were changing a lot, as far as like the mechanics of the game, how everything worked, all that kind of stuff. We knew it was changing a lot. We didn't know exactly, but we knew things were changing quite a bit. And I was a little worried that they were basically going to do zombies like they do with the campaign, and it's just like this continuous, very linear story. And it's not. It's kind of how it is anyway, I suppose. But it wasn't like directly like at this moment is when you have to exfil and go to the next thing and whatever. It's just this time, and I've been getting these kind of deja vu moments, these kind of, although I hate the word, nostalgic moments. Because I've been going over this stuff with the underwater / bubbles Easter egg. So going back to Mauer and Outbreak and all these things, and then, you know, I've been checking all the round-based maps for to see if you could get the bubble effect anywhere else. So I was doing stuff in D Machina and Firebase Z. Did I even load up Firebase Z? I hate Firebase Z, if you don't know. If you're new around here, my least favorite map of all time is Firebase Z. It's just so brown and boring. It's just dull, and I hate boring. Transit might be aggressively bad. I would take that every day of the week over boring. Boring just pisses me off. Give me bad. Give me like it's offensive. It's so bad. I would rather do that than... I mean, maybe I guess not to the level of Vanguard, but... I might be wrong, but I heard that with the new Zombies DMZ mode in Modern Warfare 3, it auto ends after an hour of being in game. So the whole thing with that is it's just like, I'm assuming, with DMZ. When you load into DMZ, you have 25 minutes to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And then technically, that's when like the final circle, I think, like the gas is spreading, but then you can like do a final emergency exfil at the end. So like there's 3 exfil sites on the map, and then when that 25-minute timer runs out and the gas is already spreading at this point, there is one final exfil that will show up like at the very edge of the map where the gas is headed toward. So you get like another what is it, like 3.5 or 4 minutes to make it over to that exfil point and get on the chopper and get out. And then, if there were any other players left, of course you would have to deal with them. Whether you try to make friends with them and get on the chopper together, or whether you fought each other, killed each other, whatever. So with this, what the people that were invited early to the event at, I guess they were invited over to Treyarch, not to Sledgehammer. Because, again, Treyarch is handling this mode, is that when you load in, you have a 60-minute timer, where DMZ was like 25 minutes. In this Zombies mode, in Modern Warfare 3, you will have an hour. You have 60 minutes. Again, we're assuming everything sounds like it's exactly DMZ, but with zombies, right? So we're just going to work off of that, again, until COD Next, which is October 5th. Again, I will be live streaming a watch party for that, so you can join me here. Hit subscribe. Might as well hit like while you're here as well. Helps me out. You can subscribe. It's free. It costs you nothing. And then you be subscribed for a little bit, and then you decide, hey, I like this guy, I don't like this guy, whatever, and then you unsubscribe or stay subscribed later. Totally up to you. Okay. So COD Next is when we're going to get more information. I think, like, a lot more information. I hope, anyway. But again, if my thought is correct that we're not actually going to get Modern Warfare 3 zombies, DMZ zombies, DM zombies, whatever we want to say, until December, when the new Warzone map comes out, which is what I think will happen. Because, again, DMZ is attached to the Warzone map. It is a part of that game. It's a free download. It is not part of DMZ, I'm talking about at the moment. It is not part of Modern Warfare 3 in the sense that you do not need to buy Modern Warfare 2, to play DMZ. You can upgrade your weapons and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, in the game, it's much better to do it that way and then hop into DMZ. But you don't need Modern Warfare 2 to play DMZ or Warzone. I think with this game, you will not need Modern Warfare 3 to play DMZ Zombies or the new Warzone. Obviously, we know Warzone is going to be free to download, but I don't think you're going to need to buy it. So if that's the case, if it is truly attached to Warzone, we will not get this zombie stuff until December. I think it's like the beginning of December 5 or 10 or something like that, is when the new map is scheduled to come out. Something along those kinds of lines anyway. So that would be kind of a bummer, but whatever. It'll give us a month or so to be in Modern Warfare, if you're buying Modern Warfare 3, to start leveling things up, the new weapons, all that kind of stuff. I've actually been going back, and I didn't enjoy Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer really kind of at all, but I have been going back and upgrading, leveling up stuff. Like, I didn't use shotguns once during the life cycle of this Modern Warfare 2. And now that I know that everything is carrying over to Modern Warfare 3, I've been going back into Modern Warfare 2 a little bit at least, and just trying to level up like my shotguns and LMGs and stuff. Like, I don't use those. I use 90% of the time I want to use an SMG. Another 10% of the time, or 8% of the time, I want to use an AR, and like 2% of the time I want to use a sniper. That's just my play style. It's just what I like to do, and I don't really mess with any of the other stuff. Now with Modern Warfare 2, of course, the way they made it with the attachment unlocks, that like you had to use in order to unlock this particular foregrip or rear grip or stock or whatever it was for this SMG, you had to get this particular battle rifle up to level 25 or whatever. I really hated how they did that. I hope that's not coming back. I really, really hope that's not coming back. We'll see. I don't know. But anyway, so I've been going back a bit to kind of upgrade you get the unlocks done for like the shot, like it's zombie stuff. So shotguns are usually pretty good, right? But I don't have any of my shotguns upgraded in Modern Warfare 2. I just don't use them. Same for LMGs, can be pretty good in zombies, typically speaking. Like if you go back to BO3, the Dingo, best gun ever. Best non-wonder weapon ever in zombies, I think. I think I'd say that. Like BO4, of course, the Helion Salvo is kind of like necessary, but it's not the bad. Like you need it. It's almost its own wonder weapon. I kind of would just take that out of the conversation really. But then in BO4 too, you had the Hades LMG, which was great. But again, I don't use those types of weapons typically in my multiplayer play, so I've been having to go back and unlock like my LMGs, my shotguns, and doing all that kind of stuff. With Cold War, it's a little bit different though. Like, I mean, the same in the sense that the Gallo shotgun and the Hauer shotgun were two of the best weapons in Cold War zombies, period, right? And then the third one that is really good is the M16, which is weird because I guess in Modern Warfare 2, that would technically be a tactical rifle, not an AR, right? But it's like the best gun in Cold War. It's better than the two shotguns. I've been kind of exclusive. I saw this last night when I was getting this footage and I scrolled through some of my stuff. My most kills for any weapon in that game is still the Hauer, and then it's the M16, and then the Gallo. But for a long time in Cold War, M16 is the attack rifle. Okay, yeah, so I can't even, like, I load up a game occasionally of Cold War now, and I'm like, oh, let me use a shotgun this time, because I always use the M16. Like, it's kind of like a novelty now for me to use a shotgun in that game rather than using the M16. It's just so good. But I've also been going back. There were a couple of DLC weapons that came with Cold War. SMGs are great as well. Well, I've actually been going through, I don't even know. It's called like a UGH or UNG or something like that, which was a DLC. PPSH is good. Yeah, that's good. But the other one, UGR, yeah. It's got that weird clip, right? Like that big kind of like long, like it unhinges underneath the gun like that, which apparently I only ever got to like level 7. I don't know when it was released, but I just had like that kind of concerning feeling like, well, what happens with the underwater rifle? Yes. What happens if Black Ops Gulf War, whatever we're going to call it, works off of kind of like this whole Modern Warfare thing now where like stuff will transfer over? Like, I kind of hope it doesn't. Part of the fun of getting the new game is grinding the new weapons and upgrading stuff. Like, again, well, anyway, so I've been going back. Like, I just did the crossbow. I never used the crossbow in zombies before. And a couple days ago, I was like, I maxed it out, got like Dark Ether for it, all that kind of stuff. So I've been going back and finding like the few DLC stuff that I didn't upgrade. I have Dark Ether came out. I had it like 2 months after the game came out. But like all the DLC stuff, you didn't, like, oh, I just got tried this one for a little bit, and then I was done with it, or I tried this one. That's usually what happens, though. It's those 2 or 3 weapons that you always use, and especially now with Cold War and with everything is, you can load in with your own weapons. You don't start with a starting pistol and then go hit the box. Like, how often do you hit the mystery box in Cold War? Do you ever? Other than like if you're just trying to get the wonder weapon without having to do the build or go through the doing the challenges, the trials. What possible reason would you have for hitting the box? You're not getting monkey bombs from them. You just build those at the crafting table. Like, I never use the mystery box in Cold War, which kind of sucks, but it's kind of good in a way because it takes out the RNG factor, which ruins Moon unless you get really lucky. It ruins a couple of games. You guys know all the games. I'm currently doing Dark Ether, almost done with ARs. It's fun when you get an accomplishment. I'll say that. It's nice. Oh, I did it. It's done. I've done it. But it's part of the reason why I think I hate Firebase Z2 is because that's when I finished my Dark Ether grind, and it was a grind because when you leave the spawn area and go up to the main base, that's that great training spot where you load in from the teleporter and then through between the barracks, and you just line people up and just the zombies up and just headshot. It was great for training, but I got so sick of it. It's probably part of the reason, honestly, that I cannot stand Firebase Z to this day. By the way, we're basically done talking about Modern Warfare 3, unless you guys have questions or thoughts about this. Like, this is what we came out today. I thought it was pretty exciting to know that it truly is a sequel to Cold War. So if you guys have any questions or you want to talk about like, specific things, but I think I'm basically done talking about how my thoughts on, what came out today. So I don't want to grind for Intel. I don't want to grind for it if they're doing it the same way that they did in Cold War. That was not fun, especially when it was put into like the radio stuff. Like, I'm okay with that for the most part, but even still with that, when they give you these long messages and again you're playing solo, it's like you have to wait until the end of the game to go into the files and then listen to it there. You can't just listen to it in game. It just kind of sucks. But the whole, when they put the Intel pieces and like it's literal scraps of paper or an empty perk can or a little toy doll of like a mangler or whatever, just randomly throughout all of the Outbreak maps. And this is coming from somebody that got every bit of intel that you could possibly get every season. I literally got all of it, except for Onslaught, because that was just PlayStation specific stuff. I got 100% of the intel, other than the Onslaught stuff, every season. And it was so goddamn annoying to hop on to, especially like when Zoo came out. Zoo is huge. That's a big map, man. That's a big map. And while it can be fun to like get into Zoo and go like into the animal enclosures, like all the spaces, and then there's like some nice verticality to it, like, oh, there'll be a tunnel system under this building that leads out to blah blah blah. So, but it's just a whole nother area that you need to check. Or you can go up top on top of the cages, and then there's the tram thing that goes, the tracks that go along, like to check all the houses over here, like to check every spot. And there were some spots in, I'm thinking of Golova right now. Like the one where, where you do, it's almost always the upgrade, the ether tool upgrade where you have the crystal. In that spot where I don't know what you would call it. But then there's a barrier right outside of that area. And then right behind that is basically where the dark ether starts. You can't go in there, or if you start taking damage, you're kind of outside of the map. But there was a key card there. I think it was Samantha's key card that you actually picked up from right behind that barrier. You're like almost in the dark ether. Like if you move an inch this way, you're in the dark ether. If not, you're in the map. Like a key card was down there. I still remember that. And then all the way down to the bottom, same side of the map, but if all the way down at the bottom of that hill where you do like you call in the radio transmission to kill one of the like mini bosses, there was like something very small that was down there as well during one of the seasons. Like just to go and look for all of it was just so mind numbing and like it just drive you crazy. But by the way, if there is stuff like that this year, you guys are going to see it because I'm going to be streaming all of that shit. So you're going to have to deal with it with me. We're going to go through it together. I've only moved the box 3 times in Cold War. Like, you just don't need to. Round 100, hitting the box every round. Camping Colonel's office. Oh, on Firebase. I don't want Intel rewards in trials RNG based on log. Yeah, it's kind of, again, it's the good thing and the bad thing I think about Cold War is that the mystery box is irrelevant. So you lose out on a factor of, think of every game prior to that where you hit the box and it's like, oh my God, I got the ray gun, or I got the, monkey bombs. Oh my God. Or I got the dingo or whatever. And it was genuinely exciting, but it's exciting in the way that gambling is exciting because that's what you're doing every time you hit the mystery box, right? You're gambling. You're trying to get something good. Like, come on. You're a fucking sniper. Like, I don't need another sniper. I don't want to, you're not going to do this Easter egg with a sniper. Or on BO4 where you need homunculus and you need the Helion salvo and And you want to get the Kraken. I'm thinking of specifically, of course, of the Titanic map there, Voyage of Despair. I always want to say Voyage of the Damned. It's Voyage of Despair, and I actually like Voyage. I know most people don't, but I like it. It's all good, Mitchell. Sorry, I have to leave one. I thought you had to leave. I have to leave one of my favorite YouTubers uploaded a short. Oh, you do. You are leaving. Okay. Oh, the jump scare thing. Yeah, I put that up earlier today. Did that go out this morning? Yeah, there's 2 shorts that came out. I put out today. So if you're here and you want to check those out, you can. I put out 2 shorts. One is the jump scare. That's kind of the fun one. From this. Speaking of this, and this you can unlock it. There's 2 jump scares on D Machina. You have the speaking of the mystery box. The ray gun, getting the ray gun out of the mystery box jump scare, which it doesn't happen every time you get the ray gun. It's just sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Mostly it doesn't. I've only had it happen to me one time. And talking of the mystery box in Cold War, the only time I've ever hit the mystery box in that game is one to do like the trials that you get. I think it was a Black Ops or Dark Ops challenge or something like that. To buy every single weapon in one from the box in one game, which again I've done every challenge that you could do in that game. I did, but you would do like the only reason other than that you would hit the mystery box for me anyway was to get the ray gun occasionally because it was just kind of fun to use. It was different, whatever. It wasn't like the ray gun is good in Cold War. It's not amazing. So it's the only times I would hit it and get the ray gun and use it and okay, but I never got it. And then I was recording, and I finally got it one time. But there's a second jump scare on D Machine, and again I put out a shorts video on how to do that today. So you can go ahead and watch that. It's less than a minute long, and it's the same way you do the to get the free. Score streak that you can do. So you go into the Dark Ether and there are 5 floating bodies around the map that you have to find. They're always in the same locations, but they spawn them randomly and only one at a time. And then you go out to the swamp area and there's a 6th floating body up in the sky. And if you shoot him, he drops a score streak for you. You can go pick that up. If you do not shoot him and you can fuck with your friends, if they've never seen this, if you just run under it, the floating body, the 6th and final floating body. If you just run under him and you don't shoot him, you get the same jump scare that you get from the ray gun jump scare. So there's 2 jump scares on D Machina. And throughout the rest of Cold War, as far as I can remember, right, there are no other jump scares in any of the other maps. Like there's no grab a sniper on Outbreak and look up at a light or a spot in anywhere. Firebase Z doesn't have... you guys tell me if I'm wrong. I would love to know. I'll make a video on it. Please do tell me if you can think of one. Firebase Z doesn't have one. Outbreak doesn't have one. Mauer doesn't have one. And Forsaken doesn't have one. So D Machina got 2 jump scares, and none of the other maps in Cold War got a jump scare. Right? I'm not wrong about that. As far as I can remember anyway. Which is just weird. How long did that... Oh, buying all the weapons from the mystery box? It took a while. You have to do it in one game, so it's only one game, but what round did I get up to? I don't know. I was at least in the 40s, though. I can tell you that. I don't remember if that was a Dark Ops challenge or a seasonal challenge. I think it was a Dark Ops. I don't remember. But yeah, you had to do some of the challenges were to do every trial in one game from the trial machine, obviously. So the stuff that you would get all the intel from and all the leveling, rare, legendary, epic, whatever, doing all that stuff. But you had to do all of them in one game. Then there was the other one, buy every single weapon from the mystery box. That took a while. Because at least with the challenges, you can do one per or I think can you do more than one per round? I think you can, right? If it's stuff get kills in the bedroom area of Noct, you're probably going to flip around because you're getting kills. You're trying to stay alive in there. But I think it was like, you have to stay in the swamp area for as long as possible during the timer. Like, okay, stay there. Go start another challenge. Like, hey, go stay in the spawn area for as long as possible. Okay, you can do that. Like, so I think you could do multiple in per round. But I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've done any of the challenges. Like, again, I played through Forsaken last night. And I never hit the box. I don't hit the box, and I don't do the challenge to try to get the wonder weapon. I just build it for all the maps. Like for Mauer, like anytime I make these videos, by the way, there's always somebody. I'll make these shorts videos like this is how to get the free Cerberus wonder weapon, or the Shockwave DIE Shockwave, or whatever, any of these wonder weapons, the Crystal Axe, and I just show you how to build it. And without fail, there's always a handful of people that always comment like, dude, I just get it from the challenges, or I just get it from the mystery box. Like, okay, good for you. What does that have to... What? What do you want from me? Good. I build it. This is how to build it. Like, I don't know. It's like that guy that popped in here earlier, like, dude, what are you talking about? This is not a sequel. How could this be a sequel to Cold War? Like, so he saw the title, dropped in to say, that I'm full of shit, and then had no idea like of all the stuff that just came out today to like see this. Like, hey, no, see, this is from Cold War. 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 It's a sequel to Cold War. Modern Warfare 3 Zombies is a sequel to Cold War. Ray K is the only one that I get from challenges. You should do a video where you go over all the intel so other players don't have to. I did that for Cold War. At least I didn't do it every season though, because part of the reason why I didn't, there were certain things that like I got that I specifically talked about, like when Samantha's powers were growing between, I think it was after Mauer, and it was just kind of a lead into what ended up being the Forsaken. Like, oh, she's getting strong. So I'd make videos and stuff like that dealing specifically with certain aspects of the intel that we were getting to, like this is changing. We know this is happening in the game now. We know, again, Samantha's powers are growing. We know that the whole not so, Fluffy, the Hellhounds are based off of Samantha's dog, Fluffy, who we end up seeing in the cutscene from Argent's, right, in the bedroom with her and Eddie, and then she's like, Max just calls you, hey, shut the windows and get down to the basement, and she's like, come on, Fluffy, and we see the dog. And then in Cold War, she got this dog, and it's not so Fluffy, so she ended up naming the dog. By the way, we ended up kind of naming the dog Not So, like that became his official name. This is from Craig Houston himself, because everybody just kept saying Not So, because there's a line that she uses with, like, he's not so fluffy, or she's not so fluffy. So it was like a throwback kind of a thing like that. And I did make a couple of videos. I know a couple of the seasons, like, this is where every piece of intel is for this season. But I didn't do it for all of the seasons because there were times where I would be playing and I would not be recording. Just like I'd pick something up and be like, oh, fuck. Now, and once you do it once, the intel's no longer there ever again. So you can't just go back and get that footage again. So, this is, by the way, this is also back when I was only using my hard drive on my PC to like store everything. I didn't have any external drives, so I didn't have a lot of space. I couldn't just record and then decide to, I'll toss that out. I was like, I'm taking up a serious amount of space on my PC, making it run real slow, or I flat out don't have the space anymore, or whatever. So I will probably, if that's how they're doing Intel going forward, which I hope they don't. I hope it's like that intel they might leave around the maps will just be like more of like picking up the artifact type stuff, not legit like this is story critical intel. So, but I will almost certainly make those kinds of videos. For the Modern Warfare 3, this DMZ zombie stuff, I don't think it's going to be the same. It could be. It very well could be, to be honest with you. But I think like I think how they'll do it rather than leaving bits of intel around is, have you guys played DMZ, by the way? 1 in the chat if you've played DMZ or do play DMZ. 2 if you don't or never did. Um, Mitchell, you never played it. Okay. The dog's name is Nazi. Okay. Not so. It's not Nazi Fluffy. It's not so fluffy. But yeah, because everybody kept saying not so, not so, not so, not so. Because again, it was a whole joke about that connection from Cold War to the old games is he's not so fluffy and her dog's name was Fluffy, and we all kept saying not so, and then they actually changed in the game. Like the next time they put out some intel about it was they made the dog's official name not so. So anyway, in DMZ, like some of your missions are very, very small things. It's like you need to go in and find, collect and exfil with like 10 bandages. Go in and find 3 corrupted GPU hard drives or whatever. Go in and get small things. Go in and find this particular weapon and then exfil with it. So it's not all like this huge major stuff. Like you could be pretty casual as far as like what you're actually going into DMZ to collect and do. Like your mission can be fairly small as far as scope and what you're trying to do. You're not trying to beat the big boss. You're not doing the full Easter egg, so to speak, right? You don't have to jump in and do the Legion boss fight. You can just get in there, go to a couple of the maps, go look around, go pick up this, pick up that. Maybe the equivalent would be Kid Reporter. Oh my god, dude, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, like you can just go in and do small things and then leave. You don't have to stay. Like, again, there's going to be the 60-minute timer. You're not going to have to stay for the full 60 minutes. It's just like DMZ, you get the 25-minute timer. But again, like the first building that I might go to where if I'm trying to find, like you have to go pick up in exfil 5 game consoles or something like that. You might get lucky in that first little village right in front of you, you find 2 game consoles. You might just like get those, and like once you get them, like I'm gonna get the hell out of here right now before I get killed because they're hard to find, and I just got lucky finding these. So I want to take them and I want to go. And so I think the intel, if they do have intel, like speaking of like the outbreak stuff that we used to get in Cold War, I think they're gonna do it like they do in DMZ, where it's instead of just random things found around the map like you did in Outbreak. Where you picked up an old Speed Cola can, or again, you found a little doll of the Mangler or whatever, and that was like intel, right? They were artifacts. I think in this DMZ Zombies mode in Modern Warfare 3, they're going to be part of your missions to go and find these particular things. I don't think it's going to be just random bits that you find throughout your journeys that you happen to pick up that will count as intel. I think all of it will probably be mission specific, and there are a ton of missions, by the way, in DMZ. Like there's a lot of little things to do, and a lot of it is little stuff. Again, you're going to just pick up. Again, you have to exfil with some bandages, but they're all towards something. Like it's upgrading the size of the amount of money that you're allowed to possess, right? You start off like your first goal is just to collect and exfil a grand total of 100 grand over the course of multiple games, not just one game, like over the course of multiple games, to finally exfil with 100 grand. Once you hit that level, now you need to go find these specific things like tape and bandages and whatever else. And if you exfil with enough of those things, now you are allowed to hold up to like 250 grand. It's that kind of stuff. How you been? I've been good, man. How have you been? You know what's funny is, because I followed your Twitch however many years ago it's been now, right? And if I scroll over on my phone, one of the things that will pop up in like this top spot here, right now it's my podcast I was listening to, which is Stuff You Should Know. Great podcast, by the way. I'll plug them like they need my help. But sometimes this is just filled with Twitch stuff and like the streamers that I follow, and your name is always at the top there, and I don't know why, because I know you haven't streamed in forever, but your name will always it's like this little chart that goes across here. It's like Shroud, somebody else, and you every single time, and I don't know why it's always on my phone, but if when that is the thing that pops up over there, your name is always there. So I think of you probably like once or twice a weekend because I see that from time to time. Like, oh, hey, I wonder how he's doing. And then I always think, oh, the cat in the box. I want to see the cat in the box. So I know every time I see that emoji in the box, like, oh, he's here. I just know I should stream again Friday. Oh, cool. I'll check it out if I can. I've been following you since... What was it? It was The Last of Us Part 2, right? So ever since then, whatever. Every time I think about your stream, you're never on. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's been really hot lately here, and I haven't been on because of that. But it's cooled off very nicely. Anyway, so yeah, today was a non-game play stream. It was just this information came out, which is. To me, this is really big info, by the way. Like, I think this, you guys tell me if you think differently, but knowing that this is truly a sequel now to Cold War, I think it's kind of huge. Because it definitely gives us a better idea of what to expect now, right? Like, going forward here, like into the new game. Like, we know that it is connected. That's right, Mitchell. I mean, we've been going for over an hour and a half too. This is just me. I should have a friggin' radio show. Maybe I could actually get paid instead of just doing this YouTube shit. Although I guess I would be popular on radio. Like I'm not popular on here either. So I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, Eric's gonna be mad he missed this. Well, he said he was going on vacation over because I did stream on Saturday because he was on away for the weekend at least, and today's Monday, so he might still be gone. He'll catch it later. But everybody say hi to Eric right now in the chat, so he can see it if he does watch this as his VOD later. And then Eric, if you are watching this later, you have to put we have to have him put something specific in the chat, like in the comment section. I don't know what's a funny emoji. Oh, okay. You have to put the polar bear emoji. This one. Put that in the comment section. So if you're seeing this, I'll know if you watch this or not. Yeah, but I think this is I think this is very big news. I'm still curious. I want to know, and I'm sure we'll get more info very soon. And by the way, there's that number. If you guys want to follow it, you really don't have to. I mean, I'm going to be posting about it or doing stuff like this when it does come out. The number is, and again, text message rates, all that kind of stuff apply. So I don't know what plans that you guys have on your phones or whatever. It's totally up to you. The number is 202-918-3022. That's the Call of Duty number to get these texts, these pictures and stuff. But they're not 100% monkey balls. I just saw these. He has to put monkey balls. We'll see. I follow you, so I don't have to follow COD. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm doing. And again, I do this stuff, so you guys don't have to. But just in case you wanted it. But also, they're not really good at giving everybody the same stuff. Because I did not get this picture. This picture I got from stuff that I follow on Twitter. I follow enough of these info accounts, and on Twitter they're like, I'm not going to miss any of these things. But I did not get sent this picture. I did get sent all the other ones. This stuff, all this stuff. This is from my phone, right? Obviously, as you can tell, all these things are from me. And from my phone, the text I got, but I did not get that first one. So you just kind of never know, if you're going to get all of it or some of it or none of it, and you kind of have to keep checking in with them, just sending, reply ready to everything, hey, I'm still trying to do this here, right? So I also I tried it the other day, typing more, because it, again, with this down here, it doesn't tell you what you're supposed to reply to. You have to know, again, this is zombie stuff, you have to know what to look for, so to speak. So you get sent this, like, do you know him? And then again, I had to reply Ravenov, and then it's like, oh, okay, then it sends you this. But like, if you typed in, I'll just type in like Maxis right now, and just see if you get anything back. You can kind of just keep trying. I'll put in zombies and just see if you get anything back. Again, there was like that sound file that I got sent a while ago. I made, the videos on about, but like, I'm not getting anything. So like, I think, oh, wait. Oh shit, I did just get something. Oh, it's going to be, I bet you it's the sound file still. Yeah, it is. That's the one from weeks ago that I made videos about it as well. That was confirming that zombies was going to be in Modern Warfare 3, and obviously we know that now. So this was, again, to me, this is huge news. Klaus is such a GOAT character. Klaus was kind of good. He made Malware more fun for me, I think, anyway. I believe, again, these are... This looks the same, right, by the way? Oh, let me do that. You can zoom in here. It's easier. If you rotated this, like this bit right here, right? See this and how it's outlined here? But especially this bit where it kind of dips right here. That's this bit right here, right? Like these are the same picture, basically, is what I'm trying to get to. This and this the same. You can see the basic outline here is the same, right? But it's like inverted. You would have to flip this one. You would have to literally flip in order for it to fit here. You couldn't just rotate this. Like this would end up being right here. Instead of matching up here, it would end up over here if you were just rotating it. So that's what I'm saying. You would literally have to like flip it over, and that would land on that to fit. But these are the same picture. So, and again, I'm assuming this is the new Warzone map, part of the new Warzone map. It looks like it's again going to be kind of deserty, and I'm so sick of brown, and it's just dull, man. I would like some greenery or some colors or whatever. It's just so blah. Again, Firebase Z to me was just blah, because brown and beige, and Al Mazrah is the same thing. It's just brown and beige and just dull. But who knows? It just doesn't look like there's much vegetation here. I don't see a single tree. I wish that helped. Klaus helped during the boss fight with Valentina. I mean, he does carry the final bomb, through. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't actually do anything. Kind of like on IW Zombies, if you call in Hasselhoff or during the boss fight and Attack of the Radioactive Thing, and call in Elvira, she'll revive you and everything, which can be very helpful with that boss. Mana Up is the key Fate and Fortune card to use there. Fate card, actually, to use in that Easter egg. Because you can do the boss fight, because you do that final step, getting to the radioactive thing without having to go through the lasers. Although you should, if you're doing that stuff, like I'm always of the mind that you should learn everything. It's kind of like when people say, like, why are you building the wonder weapon? Just get it from the box or do the challenges. Like, you should know how to do this stuff, all of it. So learn how to build the crystal axe. It's not hard. Do it. I don't play IW Zombies. You should. You really should. IW Zombies, best zombies besides BO2 and BO3. For me, I always said BO3, then IW, and then we can talk. The only thing that I don't like about BO2 is that it's not even that, like, the bad transit and die rise. It's just that you had to. I mean, Origin's the best map ever as far as I'm concerned. So that automatically elevates BO2. Like, okay, it's going to move up the ladder. Mob of the Dead, it's going to make that move up the ladder a bit. But then you have Transit, Die Rise, and Buried. Not saying anything about the maps themselves. You cannot do the Easter egg. Like Transit, technically you can. But you can't do that stuff with solo. And I'm a solo player. And I wasn't playing back then. So like when I go back and if I play BO2, it's like I'm playing either Mob or Origins. I'm never playing the other stuff. I would like to get a crew together that because I kind of want to go like I want to have fun and play through. It kind of sucks because you can't go home again is the expression, but like even if I had a crew now, like hey, 3 of you guys, right? Like let's I want to go back to BO2 and you guys show me like what the real deal BO2 experience is on transit, diarized, buried, and do all that stuff. Let's do those Easter eggs and show me all that stuff. Like without fail, it's going to happen that people are just like, oh, I know all this stuff, and then you just blow through it. Like you just pick that up, go, whatever. It's like okay, that's the whole thing. It's like no, that's not the whole thing. I didn't experience it at all. I just picked up a couple things off the ground, and then we're like doing a boss fight, or not a boss fight, but we're done with the Easter egg, right? It's not the same as experiencing it when it's new, and you can't really ever get that back unless you're doing it completely solo with no foreknowledge at all, like and just find an old game. Like you could go, I don't know, I could go play. I have LA Noire. I have the disc over here, which I never actually played. Don't ask me why. But like I've never seen a video on it or anything. I could load that up now and it would be a brand new experience for me. But if I'm doing it with people that know, it's going to have it won't be that full experience, which sucks that I'll never truly have that. But I would still like to get a crew together to kind of go back and play all those maps, because I don't know them, because I don't bother with stuff that I can't play solo. I've literally loaded into Buried once just to kind of be on the map and be like, oh, this is what everybody's talking about, huh? I mean, I've seen plenty of streams and videos and stuff like that about it, but I don't play it because I can't. I love doing the Easter eggs. That's one of the biggest. I mean, the main reason why I love doing zombies is I love doing the Easter eggs. I don't care about high rounds. I love story and all the lore and everything. Like Easter eggs is number 1, lore, story, everything. Like that's number 2, and then you can continue falling down that hill. But if I can't do the Easter egg, it's like honestly with Shadows of Evil, the reason why I don't play that one a ton, you can do every step of the Easter egg. I'll never understand this except for the final one. Solo. You can do every step of that Easter egg solo except for the very last step. Why? Yeah, it just drives me insane, man. So that's probably... No, I was going to say it might be my least played. But that's not true at all. My most played BO3 is DE for sure. Like, it's not even close. It's Dry's Drag. Second actually might be Shadows. It's either Shadows or Zetsubo. Surprisingly to a lot of people. I rate, by the way, get ready to get mad, people. My ratings for BO3 Zombies, all the maps. Dryzendrach, Shadows of Evil, Zetsubo no Shima, Garad Kurovi, Revelations. So many people get pissed when you say that Zets is better than Garad. I just think it is. People love the layout of Garad Kurovi, and I, for the life of me, will never understand that because I don't think it's a great layout at all. I flat out think it's kind of bad as far as the layout goes. Like having the dragons and everything, that's super cool, especially the first time you do it. It's like when you watch people play Origins versus you actually playing it and experiencing the sounds and especially with the robots and everything going on overhead and stepping and landing near you. Like it's incredible yourself when you're doing it, when you're playing it and you're hearing things much better than you are when you watch somebody stream it. It's just different. And that is very cool. But other than that, I'm not in love with anything about Garad. I would rather play Zetsubo no Shima. And I don't know, kid, if you were around when I was playing through Zets the first time, like I didn't like it at all. And then I played it more, and I played it more, and I played it more, and I was like, oh, I get it now. And now, again, I like it. I would much rather play that than Garad. But Zets is top tier. I agree. Top tier... I wouldn't put it top... Like, I mean, if we're talking, like, all the maps, Origins and DE are up here. Like it would be that's like S tier, then A, B. Like I give it a B plus, A minus. Treyarch hates you in particular on Easter eggs. Zets is amazing in terms of not having enough room, but just enough to survive. Garage everywhere is a dead end. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't like you start. From the starting area. Obviously, there's one way out of it. It's one door, literally, that you can go through to get out of the starting area. Then you get into the to the department store, right? And then from there, you can go. If you go out the back door near Jug, that brings you down into the next little spot. But none of it looks good, by the way. I don't think. And then there's the two bridges, so you can get to Armory and Infirmary, right? Those are two separate ones. And then off the sides of those, you get the tank depot, and then you've got the supply depot area, right? And then if you kept heading straight through, though, then you get to Dragon Command, and then it just ends there as well. So you've got two dead ends, like just going into walls. And it's like, well, the map has to end somewhere. Like, yeah, but there's no flow. It's just straight ahead. You like from one wall walk into another wall, back and forth. Then you can, yes, of course, hop onto a dragon and go over to Pack-a-Punch area. But there's no real flow. And every time you get on the dragon, like the first couple of times you get on the dragon, it's super cool, right? It's just really cool. But then after that, it's like, now I have to wait for the fucking dragon to get here. And now we're flying over. It's like taking the boat in Raven the Redwoods. Like, I mean, every time I get into the boat on Raven the Redwoods to head over to the island, I go take a piss. I go refill my coffee, whatever. You've got like a minute to get over there. And yes, the dragon flight is more exciting, but you're not doing anything. And so, again, the first couple of times, it's cool because you're seeing and experiencing it for the first time. After that, it's just another boat over to the island, as far as I'm concerned. It's faster, so that's great, but and then it becomes like, honestly, in a way, like I'd rather do the rave in the Redwoods boat because there is more time for me to go refill my coffee or grab a water or go to the bathroom real quick. And then Garage, it's just you're going to stop, and it's only 20 seconds or whatever that it takes to get over there. So like I don't have time to do anything really. So I don't know, whatever. Bomb Step ruins Garage for me. Drink water, not coffee. I drink two things for the most part. It's water and coffee. That's it. Yeah, the bomb step doesn't even ruin it. I mean, it sucks when you're doing it solo, and if it does go off, like, it's annoying as fuck. It's just that's the other thing too. Is like that Easter egg is like doing these 5 challenges or 6, whatever it is. I don't remember. You keep doing like the challenges, like going back and doing the challenge. Like you're not continually exploring and finding new things and opening up new things. You are go do this thing and then come back. Okay, now go do this thing and come back. And now go do this thing and come back. And this thing and come back and this thing and come back. And like 2 of them are escort steps. They're the exact same thing. The Valkyrie escort step and the Mangler escort step. They're the same. Then you've got the bomb step, the one where you send the dragon out. You got to defend the drop that comes in from up top on like the balcony areas. From where the dragon can fly you away. Like, I don't know. I just don't. I don't love it. I never have. It's not bad. I like Garad. I just have never loved it. The boss fight is cool. Like, the dragon, though, is so... Once you know what you're doing on that, it's pretty obvious what you're supposed to do. Like, there's the big red mark show up on the dragon. Like, oh, I think I'm supposed to shoot that part. It's pretty... That part is super simple, right? And then for the actual... what I would consider the actual boss fight, you against Nikolai, you need the right gobblegums. And then if you have the right gobblegums, it's pretty easy. If you don't, if you're doing like a separate kind of challenge, like you're trying to make it harder on yourself, like that I'm leaving that out of the equation because you can do that for any map, right? You can say, oh, I'm doing sniper only challenge. I'm doing melee only. Even though, like in D Machine, I did the melee only challenge not too like a week or two ago, whatever. Like it's still super easy on D Machine. It's just a very easy map. But I think it'd actually probably be harder to do D Machine like sniper only rather than melee only because the melee is just easier. But if you have the right gobblegums on, and I don't like the whole gobblegum system, period. I don't like Fate and Fortune cards. I don't like elixirs. It's pay to win shit. It flat out is, and you can argue as much as you want. You're not going to get through to me. It's pay to win. If you can have full Perkaholic on round 1, or you get raindrops on round 1. BO4 was actually worse than BO3. I'm going to get off on a tangent here, but let me finish my thought on that. So is the boss fight there against Nikolai is really entirely dependent on your gobblegum that you come in with. And if you know the right one to bring in, you're probably going to beat him. And it will take like 5 seconds to do. And if you don't bring the right gobblegum in, or you happen to not hit all 4 of the spots for whatever reason, then you're screwed and you're probably going to die. But it's like, it's A or B. There is no like C, D, E, F, like all these different ways it could go. It's almost for sure you're going to either do it in 5 seconds or you're going to die. And that's kind of it. So, like, if you ever watch speedruns, like you head over to zwr.gg, the Zombies World Records for speedruns and all that kind of stuff, or high rounds and whatever, which I'll go to from time to time. And then once you do it, you kind of realize, oh, man, I've been, like, nobody broke this record. Like, you're watching the same shit over and over again. But the good thing is, yes, you can do it like you can do, don't watch with the elixirs. Like, this is the no elixirs one, or the classic elixirs only, or no mega gobblegums only, classic gobblegums, or whatever. Like, okay, sure, I get it. But if you look at, again, it was the same with BO3, like all your major streamers, YouTubers, whatever, spent literally thousands of dollars getting, all the liquid divinium, so they could have a shit ton of perkaholics and raindrops and shopping freeze, and it's like you completely taking out the progression of the map, like how it's supposed to go. And again, BO3 is still my favorite zombies game of all time. IW, it has Director's Cut. Director's Cut is the reward for beating every Easter egg in the game. Without Director's Cut on, you can't get Director's Cut until you beat all of these. So that's your reward. And then you can also, with literally one push of a button, you just hit your left bumper. I think it's your left bumper. You can turn Director's Cut off. You don't have to have that on. That's the reward. It's there if you want to use it. If you don't, you don't. So even like with Cold War, your reward is like your weapon level is raised. Mine's at purple, whatever that means. I don't know. It's the highest one you could do because you do all the Easter eggs. After, you go to zoo and you do the ritual thing. Like, okay, then you get the, you get the purple weapon level to start the game. You can't even, like, take that off, though. You can go back to zoo and undo the ceremony or whatever, unbind you or whatever the hell it's called. But you would literally have to go to that specific map to undo it. So you can't just turn it on and off at the start of a game like you can with IW. But only part of Garage Easter egg is that Wonder Weapon is not required. I would say that the Ray Gun Mark III is required for that Easter egg. I mean, not fully. I get what you're saying, but it almost is. Mephistopheles made Director's Cut worth getting. Mephistopheles, again, there's going to be a poll that I put up later today, by the way. So you'll see that. Break the Pact, yeah, on Zoo. So, but then with BO4, BO3, a lot of people thought, like, this is broken. Like, you can either... You get your 5 gobblegums, and then to start the game, you either got Perkaholic to start the game, which, hey, you literally don't have to spend a dime on getting any perk for the rest of the game, and you get all of them. I mean, that's progression right there, just to earn those enough points to get the perks, plus opening rooms. Like, you can have all 3 dragons done on DE by round 2, 3, maybe, the latest. if you're using those megas, or if you get shopping free, you can open up the whole map. Like, forget paying for another door. But that's the progression to get you through. Again, it's one of the things I think about Outbreak where they messed up is it's completely open world, but it just makes it like so everything is boring in between. You don't have to open a new area. And then, again, that's why the scaling went up so fast is because at the end of round 3 of Outbreak, you can have 2 triple-packed weapons with ammo mods on them and a full perkaholic. And whatever, also you have full armor, obviously, and you could have score streaks and anything else you would get from the crafting table, your tacticals, your lethals, all that kind of stuff. Like, you would be virtually unstoppable by the end of round 3 if you wanted to, if you took your time on Outbreak. And that's why the scaling of that is just so steep. That curve is just like, vroom, and it makes it not fun. You go from like preschool to you need to give your graduate thesis in like 5 minutes, like apart. Like, okay. And then if you look at BO4, like you watch people speedrun on that stuff, like because it's the elixirs, you can literally just choose. You don't have to even get lucky from the gobblegum machine. You can literally choose which one you're taking. Watch any of those streams, like if they're allowed to use megas. It is just non-stop raindrops, 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 raindrops. You might as well just call it like the raindrop speed run. That's all they do. It's just it's not fun to watch either. It is 100% like a pay to win kind of mechanic, and I don't like it. So people that are like, oh, I would love to see Gobblegums come back, I 100% would not. I don't want Gobblegums. I don't want elixirs. I don't want Fate and Fortune cards. I don't want none of that stuff. And with Cold War, they kind of made all that stuff available to you in a not all of it, but like at least the perkaholic and upgrading everything that you could do outside of the game. So like, we earn the Ethereum crystals. You have the raw, then the refined and flawless. So you can upgrade your, your perks, whatever, your jug. Once you upgrade it to tier 5 or even tier 3 or whatever, you go from having 150 health to 250 or whatever it ended up being. And, with everything, though, with your guns is the same deal with all the different perks. With your field upgrades, like giving you all these extra abilities. So at least in Cold War, it's a similar system in a way, but you had to earn it yourself by playing the game and then upgrading all your stuff kind of outside the game. So meaning that you didn't have to do it each time you played. You did it once and that was it. And you had now a tier 5. All your shotguns are all tier 5, or your jug is always tier 5. Your whatever perk is always tier 5. Your guns are all these guns or that guns or whatever this field upgrades. So they kind of did the same thing, but you had to earn it, it was cool to grind the stuff at the beginning of the game, and then it just became like, once you do it though, it's kind of like, oh, it's all done now. I don't have anything to grind for anymore. Oh yeah, where's the pole with electric cherry? Oh, that not that perk. No. I know. Every time I do that stuff, like, you left this out. I'm only allowed to put 4 options when you do the pictures. You're only allowed 4 options. I can't do everything, so you can do drags around 1 if you do it right. Oh yeah, on DE. Yeah. So it's like you're kind of, and it's something that I've said to you guys and people here like that watch my streams and any of this stuff. Like, one, I don't have that kind of money to just spend literally thousands of dollars on liquid divinium or whatever they called it in BO4 to spin for vats of elixirs, or in same for IW for the Fate and Fortune cards and stuff. But also like it gets something, I don't know, like it gets to be the kind of thing when I'm watching people play or stream, whatever, it's like they're kind of playing a different game than you are. Or they're playing the same game, but they're playing a different version of the game. So if they have tons of perkaholics, tons of raindrops, tons of shopping frees, etc., that they can use as many of them during a game. Only stuff I've got of those is what I've earned by playing the game. So I I don't know, like 13 or 15 perkaholics. I've never used one. But I like in the total time I'm playing, that's how many I've earned by just playing the game. It's not a lot. And then you see, like streamers or YouTubers, whatever, with 150 of them, 300 of them. Same thing for all of the megas. And it's like they can literally afford to just in one game, like I got my perkaholic on round 1, I got shopping free on round 2. We'll pop raindrops because I want, we need a little bit of extra points to hit the box. Like, okay, and if they go down and they lose all their perks, whatever, they just get another one. It doesn't matter to them. So they're playing a different version of the game that, like we're both playing Rise of Draka, sure, but you're like, it's like the difference between like you're going out to eat for the night, but you're the rich kid that can literally afford whatever they want because you're not paying for it. You're using dad's credit card. I just graduated college and I'm working a shit job where I'm making barely minimum wage and I go to work overtime and whatever. And it's like, I'll order the salad. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you might be eating at the same place, but you're not having the same experience. You get what I mean? It's just different. So that are modded. Yeah, I mean, the whole mod thing is a completely, like, I'll take that out of the equation because that's not Treyarch. That's not Call of Duty, them putting that out there. You can't mod just by buying the game. You have to get it for PC, and then you have to download somebody else's mod tools, whatever that they created. That's not the game itself. So we'll take that out of the equation altogether. I'm just talking about specifically what you can do in game, whether it's PC, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. It's the game that Treyarch made, or that Infinity Ward made, or whoever. It's that Call of Duty put out, and it just is different. You cannot say that they're the same thing. So, it's kind of like I remember this. This one time I was working. I used to wait tables. And I was getting a little bit into F1 at the time. I like racing, but I like GT car racing, which means kind of like, the stuff that you would see on the streets, like sports cars on the streets, like Corvettes and those kinds of Ferraris, Mustangs, whatever. You guys know. Well, you do or you don't. It doesn't really matter. But it's kind of more like street cars that have been like tuned up for a racetrack, right? And I was waiting on this table, and there was this guy, big fat guy, of course. And he's wearing, and again, I was getting into F1 at the time, and he was wearing his Mercedes shirt, like the F1 Mercedes team shirt. And I was like, okay, so I asked him, like, oh, so you're into F1, blah, blah, blah. We talked a little bit. Oh, yeah. The best there is, I actually like the GT car stuff. He's like, ho. This pretentious fucking laugh. Just like, oh. They once swapped, they had whatever guy from, I don't know if it was NASCAR. Like, I'm not a NASCAR fan. I never have been. But whatever, from one of these guys in a different racing series. And he got into the F1 car, and he didn't even know how to start it. Oh, like, does that mean it's better? Like, it's just they're two different things. Yes, you're driving cars around a track, but they're just completely different. And it's just like some people only they like it because it's the most expensive thing, right? It's like if you see some of these designer whatever, like Gucci stuff, those god awful looking handbags that women want. And I don't mean to, I'm not attacking women or whatever for liking these things. I'm just saying. Some people, they want it because it's expensive. And I think those designers make that shit ugly on purpose just to let people know. So it stands out that it's so fucking ugly, and to let people know that this purse cost $5,000 or 10, however much they actually cost. Just so it stands out like this is money. It's not the thing. It's not the thing itself is beautiful. It's just money. Money. This cost money. A lot of money. Like, okay. And it's like some people only care about that. So like some people, like I to relate it to what I'm talking to here is a lot of times viewers of this, like they only want to see the people like you're not using perkaholics, you're not using raindrops, you're not using all the shopping freeze all the time, like whatever. It's like, Well, I just want to see like the max amount of game because it's the best. Because perkaholics are better than not having perkaholics. Raindrops are better than not having it. Like you get all this stuff for free instantly like that. You get everything you want right away, right at the start of the game. So that's better. And it's like, okay. I mean, I'd rather experience the full game. And you know what? Like, if I ended up with 1 million subscribers next week and people are donating, like throwing, like, this is for Liquid Divinium, buy Liquid Divinium, I'd buy Liquid Divinium, we'll have all this stuff. Like, I would do it. I would load it in, load up. I got my Gobblegums are Perkaholics, Raindrops and Shopping Freeze and, whatever else. I mean, it's kind of really those are the main three, right? But. And then with extra points and whatever, and immolation liquidation. That's what you want, right? And I'll have them loaded up, and I would use them every single time, and I would get Perkaholic by round 3 at the latest every single time, and whatever. But it's just you're experiencing two different things when you do that. They should put an in-game currency where you can buy Perkaholic or other elixirs, but grinding zombies, kills, rounds survived, or completing challenges to make the game more engaging. Yeah, I don't know what you would do. I mean, now, of course, with, Cold War, it changed, and I don't see... It's really hard to walk things back, right? So, with BO3, they introduced the Gobblegum system. Infinity Ward continued it with IW the next year with the Fate and Fortune cards. BO4 continued... World War II... they did their own thing. It was different, but it was... like loadouts and stuff like that. Like you could build a loadout and upgrade your stuff, but it wasn't specifically like take this shot in your arm and it gives you all the perks, like a perkaholic kind of a thing. BO4 of course did the same thing but with elixirs, so they gave you less options because you only had 4 of them rather than 5 Gobblegums, but you didn't have to get lucky in a specific order. You could just choose whichever one you wanted at whatever time you wanted it in BO4. So again, you could literally just, watch some of the speed runs from BO4. And if you do the megas, elixirs, whatever, it's nonstop raindrops. Nonstop. That's all you're going to see is people nonstop, go, raindrops, go, raindrops. Non-fucking stop, man. It's annoying like how often it happens. And then they did walk it back with Cold War. So we went from BO4 with the elixirs, and then in Cold War, they did take it back, but they made it so you could just buy every perk every time. They made it so if you earned stuff, again, in this case, in this game, with the Ethereum crystals, that you could upgrade everything so that you only had to upgrade it one time as well. You didn't have to, again, with one thing I think Vanguard probably did right was the in-game upgrades with the perks. You could upgrade it to level 4, right? But you had to pay for it each time you went into the game. You didn't just like I upgraded it to level 4 over here and now it's level 4 forever. It's like, no, if you want to go from the first one's free, but then you from there you got to pay. You got to pay because then you need to strategize. What are you going to do? What are you using your points on in this game? It's kind of like the, pick 4. And again, if you're a solo player, you're always going to get Jug. You're always going to get Quick Revive. So what 2 perks are you going to get? Well, Speed Cola, I mean, people don't, I think, give Speed Cola enough credit for how necessary it is. The ability to reload fast, especially like something like BO3, if you're using like the Dingo or something like that, especially, where it would take a while to reload. You're in a jam and you need to reload, like you need that to happen fast, man, or else you're dead. So Speed Cola is kind of a crutch perk. And then it's kind of like, okay, well, are we going to do double tap or are we going to do stamina up? Well, what's the map? If we're on Origins, you need stamina up. And then but then that workaround there was doing the challenges, and then you could get the free extra perk, which was double tap from the box, doing the challenges and stuff. But in like BO3, it's like, well, okay, you kind of don't need stamina because you do slide hopping everywhere, so we'll go with double tap there. But it was a choice that you had to make. Or then when they introduced Widow's Wine, it's like, Widow's Wine's really good. It's expensive, but it's really good. Like you can get hit a couple of times, 3 times by zombies and not take any damage because your Widow's Wine's going to go off and just freeze everything around you. It's a get out of jail free card. But at least, again, with that, you had to kind of strategize and think about, what do I want to use? And now with Cold War, it was just like, you can just buy them all. I mean, you've upgraded them already off screen. Like, you earned all the Ethereum crystals, so you upgraded everything. So now you can just literally just, you got enough points, just go ahead and buy another one. Just go buy another one. Just go buy another one. And I don't ever, when I'm playing Cold War, like, I don't want Tombstone. I don't want, I mean, if I'm playing round-based stuff, I don't want Mule Kick, really, ever. There's a couple of, like, Death Perception. I don't need that. But when you've got the money, it's just like, well, I don't know. Why not get Death Perception? Why not? And then if you get Mule Kick, like, I don't want the third gun, but I will get ammo drops from the zombies on round base like they do in Outbreak. That's worth it. So you end up getting like 5, 6, 7 perks when you would have been happy to stop at 4 or 5, but now you can, so you just keep going. Nobody's going to stop you. Why would you not just keep going? They should make where if you're able to buy all the perks without going down, then the next match all perks will be free. I mean, they don't need to make anything easier as far as I'm concerned on Cold War. That's the dichotomy, right? That's the paradox as far as Cold War goes, right? It's fun. It's a fun game. I enjoyed it. Being powerful and earning these things in game it's good. It's kind of weird because all the upgrades are permanent, right? So like you don't even remember. I don't. What was your shotgun like, or what was your M16 like back when the game came out versus what it is today? Just from doing the upgrades alone, earning the Ethereum crystals and upgrading it, to tier 5. Like I don't remember what it was like when it wasn't tier 5. And not to mention, I did, I made the packs, did the thing, I did all the Easter eggs, I went to Zoo, and I got that upgrade. So now I start the game with a purple tier gun. So there's only one level for me to go higher than that, which is the legendary or orange or whatever you want to call it. Whereas at the beginning of when D Machine was new, I remember like that was something you had to seriously consider when you were playing through the map, was like, all right, there were 2 different point systems. You're literally using points to pack a punch, and then your salvage and stuff to upgrade your gun. But they're both upgrading your gun, right? But you had to kind of, like, am I going to go get more Molotovs or monkey bombs or whatever, or should I upgrade my gun one more time? Like, and if I do, that's just enough. And then they're going to take my armor. Like, I'm not going to have any salvage left to, like, refill my armor if my armor gets broken. Like, it's something you actually had to think about. And now, again, it's a reward at this point because you've made your way through the game and you've done all the Easter eggs to start with a tier purple, whatever that's called, level weapon. So you've earned it. But the difference between, like, if we had all that stuff taken away today, and like we got to play like one more game of D Machine and do the Easter egg, and then with all of our upgraded stuff, and then load it in with no upgraded weapon, like it's tier 1. Oh, not even tier 1. There weren't tiers yet. And you weren't allowed to upgrade your perks at all yet. Remember? Like, think of how crutch that stuff is. Tier 5 on every perk. Like, that's huge, the benefits that you get. Plus your weapon being upgraded like that. You would play D Machine a whole lot different than you do. Like, again, I did it melee only like a week or 2 ago, and it's super easy. I barely have to pay attention, and that's not me bragging about I'm amazing at zombies. I'm not. I'm pretty fucking good, but I'm not amazing. But I can do a melee only D Machina without really thinking about it. You don't have to put that much effort in. To use it with like the M16 or the Hauer shotgun or the Gal or whatever, it's just like you're Superman. Especially with all the upgraded stuff. But going back, like, all you need to do is go back and play an old game. Go play BO2 or BO3 or whatever. And it's like, well, you don't have the get out of jail free cards anymore. Like, you start with the starting pistol, and you got to be aware of your surroundings. You got to know, like, I can move here, I can move there. I need this little escape here. I need to get down to 1 or 2 zombies left before I even think about kind of traversing through the map and going over there, or else I'm going to get pinned in, I'm going to get trapped, whatever. In Cold War, you're just like kill, 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 kill. You're just going, And again, it's fun. It's just like the replayability, the kind of like, do I want to really come back? Part of the fun of Cold War was the grind to earn all these Ethereum crystals and all that stuff at the beginning. And then once you do, it's kind of like, there's always a little, And maybe that's just life, though. Maybe there is no perfect way to do it. So that's okay. Not even one of my most played map ever of any zombies game ever is Zombies in Spaceland. Part of that is just because I absolutely love the setting. I love the map. I love everything about it. I love the music. I love everything about it. It's my number 3 map of all time. Origins, DE, Zombies in Spaceland. And it really kind of depends on the day I'm having. I might flip-flop DE and Spaceland. I love Zombies in Spaceland. And part of the reason why it's my most played, and Raven the Redwoods would be like a series I've played a ton of times. And part of it is just because I know I have my director's cut on there, and I can hop in, I can be casual, I can just go in and have a little bit of fun. I don't have to grind my balls off trying to like BO4, like, okay, by round 28, I swear we're going to be in the boss fight. We've just got 17 more steps to do for this Easter egg. Like, we're going to be fine. You can be way more casual about it. Just hop in, like, I'm powerful. By round 1, I can have double-papped starting pistols on Zombies in Spaceland. I've got Perkaholic. Like, I've got the whole map opened up. I can now do whatever I want just to have fun. That's why I've done that whole stupid find the teddy bears and shoot them, with 100 different locations as many times as I have, is because I can. And then I'll literally just have some fun. I'll do the sticker pack. The whole sticker pack, which takes a long time to do, even with director's cut on. But I'll just do it because it's fun. And what do you guys, I really want to know, like, you tell me, at the end of an Easter egg, it just made me think, because in Zombies in Spaceland, once you beat the Easter egg, you can still continue playing. You could beat the Easter egg on round 10 and try to go for high rounds at 150 if you wanted to. In the same game, you don't have to separate them. Do you guys like it when at the end of an Easter egg, that's it, the game is over? You literally are brought out, like D Machina or something like that, where you literally fly away and it's game over. You cannot continue anymore. Or do you like it to be able to continue? So 1, if you like the game over, like, because then it's a start and an end, a full start and an end. 2, if you like it when the Easter egg ends, but you can still play the map. And while you're doing that, I'm going to refill my coffee. See, for me, I think ideally, I don't know why I have my headphones in. I don't need them. All I'm hearing, by the way, with this is me in the mic. That's why this is here. So when I have my noise canceling game headphones on, I can actually hear myself so I don't start screaming. And I'm not listening to anything. There's no sound in the stream other than me talking today. I don't need to be wearing those headphones. I can hear myself just fine like this. I only have one more Flawless left to finish off. All upgrades for Cold War. What do you still have left? Did you start playing it late? I mean, it's weird for me to like think about these things because I mean, I'm trying to literally make it my job. So when any of these things came out, I grinded so hard until like, oh, you can now have this tiers 1, 2, and 3 for every weapon. Tiers 1, 2, and 3 for every perk. for every field upgrade, for every, all this stuff. So I was just like, okay, we'll do another live stream where you watch me grind for that. Or even off stream, it's like, well, I'm going to sit here and grind for that. Like, so that way when I play the next time I'm online and streaming or making a video, like I have everything fully upgraded, or I'm making a guide on the fastest way to earn Ethereum crystals and all that stuff. So anytime that stuff became available, I got it done like that fast. It's just like sitting here grinding the fuck out of it. So it's kind of like when I was like, oh, you still have something left. Like, you must have just started playing last week. Like, no. You could just be a normal human being that isn't trying to play zombies for a living. So I want a complete end. In D Machine of Firebase Z, the whole facility was destroyed. Yeah. See, I think for me, the ultimate thing is, like, I never want another zombies game where you cannot exfil. I love the exfil mechanic. I think it's probably the best thing since... I don't know. One of the best things that Zombies has ever done is creating this whole exfil mechanic where you can do the thing that you set out to do, and instead of just dying at the end or quitting your game, because there's also, for me, like, serious, legit, like, is the game gonna remember, like, that I completed this? Like, it's giving me credit for earning that camo, right? Or for earning that Ethereum, right? Or for whatever. And when you exfil, you don't have to worry about that. It's like every time you finish an Easter egg, you remember always go one more round. Like for IW, any game that continued after that, always go the extra round. So like you beat the Rat King in Shaolin Shuffle. Okay, let's make sure, we're not done yet. Flip the round. You flip the round, make sure everything like get credit for, and then you can quit out of the game or die off or do whatever, just to make sure you got credit. And with exfilling, you know you're getting that credit. And you don't have that end of the game like, oh, yeah, I died. Because I know it's a stupid thing and you're choosing to do it, but it is still you dying at the end of a game, and you don't want to like, but I won. I beat it. I just think it's a phenomenal, it's a small thing, ultimately, but a huge part of like adding enjoyment to zombies games for me at least. I love it, and especially with like, well, not especially, but on Outbreak, it's really nice too, where you like you can do the Easter eggs if you want those 2 Easter eggs, but what if you just wanted to get on and just casually play some zombies? You don't want to do the Easter egg. You just want to go 10, 15, 20 rounds. At any point. Well, you have to complete the objective for whatever, map that you're on at that moment, whatever round you're on. But after you do that, you can go, all right, you know what? That's enough. Let's exfil. And you've got one last challenge to do before you get out of the map. But then if you do that, you succeeded. You were successful. It's just a nice feeling rather than, okay, let's kill ourselves or, like, I don't know. I think it's a huge thing that I probably never would have thought of. And I think it's a phenomenal addition to Zombies. It's I think one of the best additions they've made in, I can't even say how long. Mitchell, it depends on the map. I like ending on Cold War because each map has a full story and ending, but in other games like BO3, I like continuing, except for Rev, because the story's not over. I stopped playing Cold War to get... Are we good? Can you guys still hear me? I don't know. We just got a little bit of lag there, so if you can hear me, just refresh if you're having an issue, or I don't know what that was about. It said excellent connection the whole time, but then it started lagging, and then I hit refresh on my page, and it took a few seconds for it to actually happen. So that kind of freaked me out. So we're back. Now it's doing it again. Okay, but it does this now too, like where it just like gives some lag time here, so it's not pushing too hard. I had to close out, but now I'm back. I don't know what that was, because it says my connection was always good. This is from YouTube telling me, not like my internet. That's YouTube saying, hey, excellent connection, and then it started lagging, or not lagging, but like buffering. And then I hit refresh on my whole page, and it was just like, we'll see. Yeah, skill issue indeed. Anyhow, yeah. So for like when the upgrade stuff first came out, you had three levels, three tiers that you could do for everything. So it's, again, correct me if I'm wrong. You have all your weapons, right? The weapons categories, all the perks, all the field upgrades, and I feel like there was one more thing that you could upgrade. A whole like tree of different other things, and I don't remember what that is. I don't remember. But when that was first issued, like that, they first put that out. It took me less than a week to upgrade in full everything. I was done with it. And then when they did it again, I don't remember if they like now you can go to tier 4, and then a month later it was like now you can go to tier 5, or if it was okay now you can go to tiers 4 and 5 as well. But I had that done in like maybe 2 days, maybe. Everything else. But I'm saying like that for me that was the mindset because like that's what I did. But again, I have a zombies YouTube channel. Like of course I was grinding the hell out of it. Normal people don't do that. They don't have time to do that. Even if they wanted to, they wouldn't have time to do that. And then, on top of that, would you even want to? Like, you're doing whatever. So it's just when I see that's like, oh no, but I did that like the day it came out. Well, like, yeah, well, no shit, man. You got a fucking zombies channel. Alternate ammo types. Yes, thank you. I knew there was something else. I don't even remember what the upgrades are for the. Oh, it was like instead of just zapping 3 guys, it would get to like zap to 5 guys, and you get extra bomb blast for the for Shatter Blast. Shatter Blast is still my favorite alternate ammo type. I use probably Deadwire the most, just because of the practicality, but Shatter Blast is definitely the most fun to me. Anyway, it took me a minute. Yeah, I could not think of it. I knew there was another one. I know that it wasn't just 3 categories. I know there was at least one more because I could see like the page in my mind where you scroll down and like check to see which ones you've done. I was like, there was more than 3. I know there was more than 3. Shadow Blast is the best. Yeah, I mean, Shadow Blast is so much fun to do. I was trying to hold out here and just keep shooting the shit until we either hit 100 total views or 10 likes. But we're at 9 likes and 87 views, and I've been rambling for a good hour and a half. We haven't talked about Modern Warfare 3 shit. Like, that was the first hour of the news that came out today. And other than that, I've just been rambling about whatever, man. So I think we could call it, right? Like, is there anything else that we need to hit? Like, I think, do you guys, let me ask you this. I mean, I think it's really just you and me, Mitchell. I think Players is still here, but like kind of doing other stuff in the background. Do you think it's good that we've got a sequel going on here from Cold War, or would you have liked to have seen something separate? Because I could see easily, like, if you had told me that this DMZ Zombies, Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, is going to be, it shows 10 for you? Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? It auto gives a like from me, so I don't see it. I see 9 on my page, but it automatically gives a like from me. Only thing I hate about malware is you have to get brain rot to do class. Yeah, I think it's a fine step, but I also immediately get rid of brain rot as well because you can't control that zombie at the end, and it always flips around that you don't want him to flip. So I get it. I go up there and I have him knock down the door, and then I go take it off immediately. That's something I wish you could do, is just remove the alternate ammo type rather than replace it with something else. I wish you could just take it off. Even if it cost you just to remove it. Cost you $2,000 to put it on, cost you $1,000 to take it off. I'd be fine with that. Yeah, I would have been perfectly fine with DMZ Zombies just being a DMZ/Zombies mashup that didn't have to connect to really anything. It could have just been a fun mode. And I think I would have been all right with that. That it is a sequel to Cold War is both good and potentially watch what you do, because don't fuck up a story now. Like don't overstep where you were going to go or what you already did just because now you have to fill story time. Because again, I'm virtually certain they were not planning on Treyarch. Were not planning on making Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. They were working on their sequel to Cold War. That's it. They were telling their story. And then when they got handed this assignment, like, okay, we've got to incorporate the Cold War storyline somehow. So what do we do? And then now you're taking what they had the story going and like, no, you got to take a left here and then get back to where you were. So they could mess it up, or it could be great. And again, I'm keeping myself wide open to this potentially being a great, fun mode that makes this whole new year of Call of Duty really exciting and really fun for us Zombies players. I'm hoping very much that it is, and I'm staying open to the possibility that it could be. I'm very well aware that this has the potential to go south. What makes me more hopeful is that we've already experienced what happened with Vanguard, and they ain't going to repeat that. So they didn't just take their, I was going to say B team, but like D team. He's like, here's 3 guys to work on Vanguard for you. I think they would have put on like a legit group of people to work on this, so they didn't get another Vanguard. And it hopefully ended up with something really good. I don't know. We'll see. Bring back Ted the bus driver. I mean, Klaus kind of, not dissimilar. I mean, even in the way he looked. I mean, it's obviously not Ted, but he didn't not look like Ted either, I would have liked if it takes place in the same universe, but not a direct sequel, because I want a full sequel story on Gulf War. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Is like, I just hope it doesn't mess up the story. And and it probably won't. I just don't. Yeah, I don't want any kind of derailment for what was supposed to happen. Like, this is the vision that like Craig Houston has as he's writing for the sequel to the story that he just told in Cold War. This is what's going to happen in Gulf War, and it's a map specific thing, right? Like, things take place within these certain places, and we went to D Machina because Project End Station. That's where the story started. That's where a thing happened, and we have to go investigate that thing. And doing that led us to go to Firebase Z, because there's a thing happening there that we need to investigate. Like, it takes you from... That's where the story progresses. We get Sam out of the Dark Ether from there, and then with Outbreak, we're getting a lot more and more of what happened to her when she came out of the Dark Ether. They basically took her captive, right? She was held against her will. And that's where we find out about her powers, and the director, although she never wasn't seeing Eddie at the time, was forcing her to use her power. They threatened to kill Natso, her dog, unless she killed a guy in a different room from her, just using her mind with her powers. Which is why at the end, when we see Eddie, the director of Requiem, not CIA, Requiem. Was it though? Was it? No, it was. It was Requiem, not the CIA. Oh, like, isn't Requiem part of the CIA though? I can't remember, man. This is what happens when they tell story through intel drops, little scraps of paper that, like, it's not connected. Like, there's not a visceral connection when you go outside of the game after you're done and listen to a recording and then like, oh, okay, you're done. But yeah, he knows how dangerous like the whole crew is and what they know and everything. That's why we're all arrested at the end of Cold War and all that. So, and I'm very curious as to what Sam's doing in the Dark Ether, what's happening there. If she is truly as powerful as we think, like, she would be like the Elder God now, in like Zykov was. I mean, in Cold War, the whole story, which is actually a fascinating story, by the way, if you've got the intel to go back and listen to it, like his progression through the Dark Ether and what happens to him. Yeah, he didn't start as the Elder God; he progressed into that. Zykov is the guy that we see in the opening cutscene of D Machina, like the guy they're they shake hands with, and they pat him on the back, and they send him into the Project End Station, to the particle accelerator room, where you first go into it through the tunnel, and then they seal it behind him. But he became the most powerful being in there, well, that he was aware of, at least, because there's always something more powerful that we're not seeing, right? But Sam was more powerful than him at the end, and she's been in there. And I swear still, I thought it was going to happen at the end of Forsaken. It was either going to happen at the end of Forsaken, or it was going to be the same scene. Either you open up this barrier through the dark ether, and the Primus crew or Ultimus crew would come through, right? Come out of it. And then we're either going to play the final map, being Forsaken. This didn't happen, obviously, as the original crew, or the original crew were going to come out of the dark ether at the very end. That was going to be the final surprise. And that didn't happen. And by the way, we're also going to, the whole stuff with Peck, we're at the very end, I want to go here, which was basically Zetsubou no Shima area, Group 9, the Japanese facility, who were super hardcore, did crazy shit. I don't think we're going to get any of that stuff in Modern Warfare 3. I think that all will come in Gulf War, whatever we're calling, Black Ops 6. I mean, if they do a Black Ops that is a sequel to BO2 campaign in the future, fuck. Could work with MW3 as a restart of the Outbreak Zombies. She's going to be a new Forsaken level guy. Sam, yeah. Did he eat the gods to gain their power? Didn't he eat them? I don't remember how he, what he actually did to them, other than, because he was, of course, telling it as if he was just a guy witnessing this, right? That was the big reveal. The twist was that, Zykov was the Forsaken, which I think we all kind of figured out beforehand, that he was going to be the bad guy. Because there was also so many times where we could have got him out, and then it's I can't right now. It's too dangerous. I'm going to go, over here. Okay. Peck wants to go where they launched the nukes in Legion boss fight. Yeah, well, there were multiple, though, that were going to go off in different places. And, yeah, they certainly, I think if you looked at the map, I think definitely where at least one of them landed was where he points to on the map. But it also happens to be in the general vicinity of Zetsubou no Shima as well. So we'll see exactly what they do with that, but generally, right? Yeah. So I don't know. And it's been a long time, too, since I've gone through the Cold War story and listened to those tapes, those recordings, as far as everything that did happen to Zykov from the start, the whole thing through it. And it truly did. This was a story that was told over, again, through intel drops, which is a bad way to tell it, in my opinion. But it occurred throughout the... Although, you know what? Thinking back to the older games, too, you had to stop and listen to radios. And if you were playing solo, how hard is that to stop and listen to a radio where you get a zombie chasing you and you're running around in circles trying to stay close to the radio to listen to it? At least in Cold War, when you've got the downloaded file, you can go off screen and listen to this stuff. So it really wasn't that bad, I guess. It's just the process of picking up literal scraps throughout the game was just not the most fun way. Again, it was the whole intel stuff we were talking about earlier. You go and find this little tiny thing on a huge map like Zoo, or it could be any of the 7 maps in Outbreak. Come on, dude. And I did it, but that's a major undertaking. Is that a Starbucks branded cup? Yes, it is. This should be my sponsor. I should 100%, my first sponsor, if I ever get one, if I'm ever successful at this, should be with Starbucks, because every time I stream, I've got a friggin' iced coffee going here. I don't get paid for any of this, by the way. Even for streaming, I don't really get paid. I mean, this will earn me a $1 or $2, so. Goddamn millennial. I mean, I drink water and I drink coffee. That's it for the most part. And when I have like a treat, I have no sugar lemonade and no sugar iced tea. Put those two bitches together. That's my treat. Those are my drinks. That's all I ever have. Like occasionally, I very, very rarely, I probably have soda, like a Coke. I mean, it's less than 5 times a year, for sure. For sure. So, But 100% I should have. If Starbucks is listening, if I say Starbucks, will they translate this and like hear it? Do they have their feelers out there? Like YouTube's gonna be like, he's saying Starbucks, and then Starbucks has their AI machines out there. Like, who's talking about us? Whatever. Like every stream, I'm drinking iced coffee from Starbucks. That's good. So 100% they should pay me. That's what I think. Anyway, okay. So is that enough for today? I mean, that's almost 2 straight hours of pure rambling bullshit. The first hour, we handled what was actually the info that came out today that Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, I will repeat it again, is a true direct sequel, as you can see right here, to Cold War. So that's exciting news. Whether you like it or not, it's exciting news. Like, it's big news coming out today as far as that goes. And then for the last hour and 46 minutes, about there, or at least an hour and a half, I've just been rambling, talking about a ton of shit. Hawaiian Punch. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's all I got. Who do you guys... Oh, there's 2 games tonight, by the way. Oh, did one of them start already? I'm really going to get off. There's 2 games tonight. I don't know why they're doing this. I think next Monday there's 2 games as well. It did start. We've got New Orleans and Carolina right now. It's 12:45 left to go in the first. The game just started. Let's call the stream there then. I was going to do it anyway, but might as well get off and watch Monday Night Football. I don't know if I get both games because of ESPN the way it's situated out here. I don't know. I think New Orleans is going to win. No. So you get 3 times you normally would make. I hate mentioning anything like money at all, because then if anybody does donate, thank you so much, Mitchell. But then if anybody does, I feel insanely guilty, like I was begging for donations or something, and I swear to you, I'm not. I swear. It's extremely nice of you to do that. You really didn't have to. I hate. I shouldn't have said anything. That's very, very kind of you to do that, though. And it's basically like, hey, now I can go afford another cup of coffee for the next stream. So again, I have planned a video to come out about the whole Mauer Toten underwater / bubbles Easter egg, which I have confidently solved, and you'll see what I mean by that. I don't care for sports, so no clue what teams you're talking about. Okay, I really hate that they put that thing down in the bottom right hand corner, that little heart thing. Like, it's cool that they do that, but put it at the top, because it's like the newest message that's in the chat. It's always cut off by that stupid heart down at the bottom, and I'm always like, what the hell does that say? No club. Like, no. And then if I looked at it on... Oh, it doesn't make any sense that they do it that way. But again, thank you so much for the $2, man. I really, genuinely do appreciate it. And I feel bad that I had mentioned anything relating to money at all. I really was not asking for that. I'm sorry. Don't forget to tell Jay Money about bubbles. He always talks about it. Who's Jay Money? I don't know who that is. But yeah, I'm confident I've solved it, and when you see what it is, I think it's going to make you laugh. It made me laugh. I'll put it that way. And I'm very confident about this, by the way. I'm very confident about this. So there are, by the way, there's 2 different kinds of Easter eggs in a general sense that you can find in the code. One is triggerable Easter eggs, meaning Let me think of a step. Like, okay, so like in oh, he's a YouTuber. Okay. In D Machina, like to get the Wonder Weapon, to get the DIE Shockwave from the it's locked behind the door. You activate the trap. It sucks up a certain amount of zombies' souls, and it fills. So once it hits like 20 zombie souls, that's the trigger. It's activatable. So you activate the trap, and then once it collects the certain amount of souls, that's activatable as well. That means it's free to be opened. You go to the side of the trap, you activate it. Release the whatever it says. I don't remember the exact wording. And it blows the door off, whatever. It's all actionable. It's like it's triggerable. Like you're meeting these requirements. And then there are certain Easter eggs that are kind of like things that you might just notice. Like it could be like a sign that's flashing, but it's actually flashing in Morse code, telling you it's an Easter egg. It's telling you, hey, Zombies is the best game ever, whatever. But you have to decipher it. But it's not triggerable. It's constantly running. You would just have to notice it. And this, it's not triggerable. So I'll say that the whole Zombies bubbles thing, the underwater thing, it's not triggerable in the sense that, like when you shoot the explosive or use a C4 or whatever, yes, it goes off and it makes the bubbles come out. But it's not you're not meeting a certain amount of criteria or doing whatever to get the thing to happen. So that's why, like now with PC, like it didn't used to be this way because there weren't a lot of PC players. But everything out there, most of it's happening now on PC. And people just go through the files and they just rip through it and like find the steps for whatever and find like, that's an Easter egg, that's an Easter egg, that's an Easter egg. And nobody has found that this is an Easter egg, because it's not a triggerable Easter egg. And when I put the video out, you'll know better what I mean. And it's not what you think. Whatever you're thinking, it's not that. I guarantee you. I'm almost positive you won't know. So I'll get that edited tonight. If I don't, because I've already had 2 short videos go out today, plus this stream. So I don't want to flood people's feeds and they get mad and they unsubscribe. So plus I'm really fucking tired. So it might be Wednesday, but it could be tomorrow. So it's not odd water physics. Kind of, but you'll see what I mean when it comes out. Trust me. I'll save the surprise. It's not. I'm making too big of a deal out of it now. It's not amazing. It's not going to blow your fucking mind. It's funny though, and I really think. You know how they there's I don't know if you guys pay attention to this stuff when there's big constitutional debates. And it's going to go up to the Supreme Court. And does this mean that? Did they say this in the Constitution or did they say that? And it comes down to, well, what does this comma mean? Or is there actually even a comma there? Because if it's just one sentence that's not broken up by that comma, then that means one thing. But if you put a comma in there, it changes the meaning of the sentence entirely. It could be that kind of a situation. That's all I'll say. I want a map where you're always swimming. That sounds like a fucking nightmare, man. That sounds like an absolute nightmare to me. All right, that's it. I'm going to go watch football. I will catch you guys with something very soon, whether it's tomorrow with the the underwater bubbles Mauer Dutoten video will come out either tomorrow or the next day or Wednesday. So and if something else happens with these numbers or getting the text and everything, I'll keep you guys up to date. There will be shorts. They'll be doing all kinds of stuff, but it's either tomorrow or Wednesday that video will come out, and I'm looking forward to it. It was kind of fun to do. It was fun to solve, and I'm confident it is now solved. So it's a 2-year-old Easter egg that can now be put to bed. Anyways, that's it, guys. Have a great day. Again, Mitchell, thank you so much for the dono. It was hugely, hugely, hugely nice of you. Definitely didn't have to do it. Appreciate it, though, very much. Have a great day, guys.